Miami Vice won't be seen tonight, so we can bring you a very special episode of The Gen X Files. Welcome to The Gen X Files. I'm Jim.
I'm Adam.
And today's show is all about
Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. It's funny. I'd never actually seen this movie before, and I always thought people were exaggerating when they did that. And man, they were not.
No, I think I heard something by body jiggling. Yeah, nobody overacts better than William Shatner. Shatner, and I told you this during the show, I had a realization, it's probably not very original, but I had a realization that William Shatner is the absolute best, worst actor there is.
Yeah, I mean, he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's just not good at all.
At all. He is awful.
Yeah. Well, it's not that, like, the director did any help with him in that line when they just pushed way into his face.
And the 80s is a very interesting time for Shatner because subsequently we could see it through Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 and then T.J. Hooker is, for some reason, he decided in the 80s to go with a permed hairpiece.
Yeah. Did he have a perm in 2?
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah. No, he was curly for a lot of the 80s.
Oh, no, he was. That's right. But it was, yes, he went curly because, sorry, I've been watching the original series, so it's very weird seeing them in the early 80s compared to the mid-60s.
Sure.
But yeah, no, he does not have the curly hair in the original series. You're right.
Because he doesn't have the original hair from the original series.
Well, no.
He's bald.
No.
He's like, at least John Travolta, embraced his balditude and shaved his head. But no.
They should have gone the route that Walter Koenig did. They gave him a wig from the very beginning.
Nice. That's why he looks so sharp. Man, this movie is the best Star Trek movie of all the Star Trek movies.
It was really good. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it.
It completely makes up for the first movie. It's really smart, and I know we'll get into it, but it's really smart. Usually, when people hire creatives that don't like the property, I'm against it.
Yeah.
But I think this time it worked.
Well, it's not that the director didn't like the property. He just didn't.
Wasn't familiar.
He was
with
very ambivalent towards it.
Right.
He was just like, whatever.
Well, I thought one of the guys just didn't really like it.
I don't remember. Maybe.
We'll find
possible.
out. Surprises coming.
I think the producer they hired was like, the show was bad.
Well, the movie was bad.
Yeah.
Everybody hated that movie.
Well, no, yes, everybody. The movie was terrible. I haven't even seen it, and I know it's bad.
You need to see it.
I will. I will.
Because then you'll realize how brilliant my V'ger jokes are. for the main reason
I had no idea that was from that movie. So
V'ger, I am V'ger.
For some reason, I thought it was from a later, like 4 or 5 or something.
No, I don't know if they bring it. I don't know, man. I actually was so inspired by Star Trek II that I watched Star Trek III.
Yeah.
Not as good as Star Trek II.
Yeah.
Or as good as Star Trek IV, which I'm probably going to watch too now.
Yeah. I got inspired to watch the original series.
Yes.
I've never seen it before.
Well,
and I'm up to episode 22 already.
Nice. Yeah, look, man, I loved the original series as a kid. I loved the cartoon as a kid. I had the Mego dolls. I had the action bridge playset with the revolving transporter.
Oh, yeah,
It was one of the coolest little tricks. He spun it.
And he went away.
And he disappeared like a magic trick. And then it all folded up into a nice carrying case.
Oh, nice.
Oh, man, toys were so great back then.
They were great back then, yeah.
Little phasers, little tricorders, go on away missions.
Yeah.
Bring a red shirt. You never made it back.
Fight some Gorn.
Yeah, get that Gorn. But I loved Star Trek. I thought it was so cool. I have always had such a passion for sci-fi. The dream of having my own spaceship and flying around the cosmos, visiting.
Yeah.
It's, that's the ultimate. It's the explorer's dream. It's the purest form of adventure there is, going out into the great unknown.
Yeah, it's the final frontier.
It is the final frontier. Space, the final frontier.
Yeah.
So I was geared towards all of this. I was so disappointed with Star Trek the Motion Picture. I was so looking forward to it.
Yeah, everybody was.
And they dropped the ball. Everything about that movie, from the costumes to the casting, Johnny Pedophile was in that movie.
You can blame one man for that.
Yeah, Gene Roddenberry.
Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah, look, man, I'm going to say something that's fairly, controversial for Trekkies, or Trekkers, I suppose. I think Star Trek got so much better once Gene Roddenberry died and was out of the picture.
Well, I mean, watching the show now, the show's good. I mean, I think he pissed a lot of the writers off because he was constantly rewriting stuff and getting credit for himself.
Yes, the show. The show was good.
Yeah.
The show was good.
The movie, I think I think that because the resurgence of popularity in the 70s, he was like, I am amazing. I am the greatest thing ever.
Well, also making it a G-rated milquetoast mystery without any sort of action or suspense, and hiring, what's that pedophile's name from Seventh Heaven?
I know who you're talking about.
Gary something.
It's not Gary. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
His
matter.
name doesn't need to be uttered.
No, it doesn't. He's living a good life right now. It's gross. But yeah, that movie sucked. The one thing that they kept harping about that damn movie was one of the lead actresses actually shaved her head. That was the big thing that everybody talked about. When everybody's talking about an actor shaving their head.
God forbid a woman shaves her head.
What I'm saying is, if that's the big thing of your movie, then you failed.
Yeah, well,
because
I think we're a failure as a society if we think that's the most interesting thing.
So I didn't have a lot of hope for Star Trek II. Again, it was the 80s, the 70s, trailers didn't really grab you by the short hairs like they do today.
Yeah.
So I went, and I loved it. I was hooked. One of my favorite episodes is the episode with Khan.
Yeah.
In the series. Because it's like...
Montalbán was incredible in it.
He's such a great actor.
It breathes such life into an amazing villain. He was so cunning, and so you could see how smart he was.
Yes. And also a villain who, he had a point.
Yeah.
I mean,
kind of.
Well, look, he was, he's been cast away a lot.
Sure.
As somebody who was created as a superhuman.
Sure.
He sure didn't get his due.
Yeah, well, anyway, I think that's a whole other conversation.
Well, I'm not saying that he was a good guy, but I'm saying he's just not some malevolent, I want to destroy the universe. He has motivations.
Yeah, of course. In his mind, he is the good guy.
Right.
He's protecting his people, and he's trying to create something new.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is ironic, given Star Trek II and how he just becomes this maniac wanting to kill Kirk.
Just a vessel of revenge. All he is revenge.
Wrath.
Hey, man, that's what happens when you kill somebody's wife inadvertently.
Sure. We'll talk about that. Sure.
Hey, look, man, people need somebody to blame.
And again, I really, really liked Star Trek II, and I liked Montalbán, and I thought it was a great idea to bring him back for this. But I thought he was way more interesting in the episode than he was in the movie.
Well, yeah, because it was less, I casted thee, less Shakespeare quotes and vengeance.
Because the revenge, the reason for revenge was very thin. And, it's like, I get you want to blame somebody.
Yes.
And God knows he's so full of himself, he can't blame himself.
Well, a lot of tales of revenge are like that. Though,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Revenge is a petty pursuit, and it usually ends badly for the revenger.
Turn into a giant planet.
Yes. But revenge is, like you said, it's as the Klingons say, it is a dish best of cool.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You
get too emotional about it, and it's bad.
Well, yes, because
and then you turn into Khan.
Yes, and the greatest example of that is when his number 2,
Joachim.
Is that his name? Joachim.
Which in the funny thing in the original series, that character's also in it, but his name is Joaquin.
Oh.
But they changed his name to Joachim or something.
Maybe he's Joaquin's son, Joachim.
No, it is supposed to be the same character.
Really?
Yeah, they're not supposed to age very fast because they're superhuman or whatever.
Khan's the only one that aged 30 years?
Apparently. Yeah. 15 years, Jim. 15.
Okay. He looked like he aged a little more.
Well, by the point he was 61. You're going from your mid-40s to your early 60s. You either turn into an old lady or you just got a lot of gray.
Hey, that baby, he had some serious pecs for a 61-year-old.
If I had half the pecs he did at 61, I'll be happy.
I'm going to start wearing that shirt.
Yeah,
Just
you
like
should.
the cleavage shirt.
It was amazing how they was cut just so close to his nipples.
Well, because they cut it right before the flab starts.
Yeah,
Because as
yeah.
you get older, as a man who
Yeah.
exercises and doesn't quite have Montalbán
The Montalbán pecs.
at all. I'm not comparing myself, but you get the fat collects near the nip and under the nip.
Yeah.
So that's
Start
perfect.
to get a little droopy pec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get gravity.
He was.
gravity
He looked
comes for us
amazing.
all.
I mean, good for him. Like that was incredible.
Yeah, no, he did. But he always looked amazing. He kept himself quite fit.
He did. He's an interesting guy. He's one of those people that I've not seen a lot of his work, but I really liked him in this movie, and it's like I need to find more of his stuff.
I watched a lot because I loved Fantasy Island.
Right,
So
right.
whenever I'd see a Western or something with Ricardo Montalbán, I'd
yeah.
stick around and
Yeah.
check out the young Montalbán.
Yeah.
Yes, very young. But what a fun movie, man. I just, what I was saying before I interrupted myself 75 times, this is one of the most visceral memories of a film that I have. Like, I can taste the popcorn and peanut M&Ms.
Oh, yeah.
I remember walking into the theater. I remember sitting down. I remember the lights going down and the trailers, and then when soon as that started with the boo-loo-loo-doo,
Yeah.
it hooked me, man. And
15-minute overture at the beginning.
but it opened so strong with Paul Winfield and Walter Koenig. Koenig?
Yeah.
Tomato?
Koenig.
Pajama?
Yeah.
Walter going in there, and you're like, oh man, they're killing off Chekhov right away.
Yeah.
And him it was so cool the way they introduced Khan. And especially because we watched the episode the night before we watched the movie.
Yeah.
So we were aware of SETI 5 or SETI 6.
6. I think it was supposed to be 6, but it was actually 5 or something like that.
No, they were on 6, but 5 blew up and ruined 6.
Yeah.
And so they thought 6 was 5.
No, I think it was the other way. Anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just details. One of the planets blew up, and it was on the wrong planet.
Well, they were on the right planet.
It just wasn't in the same place anymore.
Right, because SETI
The other one blew
7-6
up,
blew
and
up
then-
and moved the planet
Yeah.
and screwed everything up. Thus creating Khan,
Right.
the
In a lot of sand.
yes, and the only thing there were these gross giant earwig things.
They were done so well.
Oh yeah, and
were
like,
cool.
why keep them in a? Are you just waiting for somebody to show up so you can pop them in an ear, or
man.
is that like punishment?
You gotta plan your revenge for a long time.
It's best served cold.
As soon as he saw his wife die from it, he was like, I'm gonna save some of these and give them to Kirk.
Just in case Kirk comes. But look, man, he has a point. They just dumped him off on a planet and let him. Never checked on him.
I'm gonna argue with you on this because at the very end of that episode, they talked about how there was supposed to be Federation people coming to deliver supplies.
Yeah.
Those people dropped the ball
Yes.
and never came.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
is not Kirk's fault.
Hey, look, Kirk is responsible, man. It's just like, the old Asian proverb is when you save a person's life, you're responsible for that life.
Sure. No, I disagree. I disagree. He was doing his job.
He should have checked in on him, or at least
Why? That wasn't his job anymore.
I don't know. You're just saying. He should have made sure. Hey, look, did you happen to check in on Khan and his people? Just asking.
He did his job. He had a mission, he did the job, and then he was expecting everyone else to do their job.
Well, that's his
And
first problem.
he paid the price.
There's a lot of bureaucratic BS in the Federation. We know that.
I mean, really, at the end of the day, Paul Winfield paid the price.
That's true. And Walter.
And technically Spock. I mean,
Yes.
he did technically die at the end.
Well, he did die at the end. There's no
Technically.
technically thing about it. He did
well,
die.
I mean-
he's dead
You know,
because it's
I seem to recall him being in later movies.
not him though. That's a different Spock.
I don't know. I haven't seen 3 or 4, so I don't know.
Well, it's not like Spock gets shot in the torpedo down to the planet and then, like, opens up the casket and is like, I'm Spock,
Sure.
I'm walking around. He's like a...
And I'm sure this will all make more sense when I see 3.
No, not really.
Which we're not talking about, so
it really
it doesn't matter.
make more sense. But yeah, okay, let's get into it. I'll talk about it all day.
All right. Take yourself back to 1982.
Ooh.
May 30th, Spain becomes the 16th member of NATO and the first nation to enter the alliance since West Germany's admission in 1955.
Très bien.
Yay. Also on May 30th, at the Indianapolis 500, 1973 winner Gordon Johncock wins his second race over 1979 winner Rick Mears by 0.16 seconds. Leading the closest finish to this date, Mears draws alongside Johncock with a lap remaining after erasing a seemingly insurmountable advantage of more than 11 seconds in the final 10 laps in what Indianapolis Motor Speedway historian Donald Davidson and Speedway public address announcer Tom Carnegie later call the greatest moment in the track's history.
I think the greatest moment in the track's history is having a driver named Gordon Johncock.
Yeah, well, he didn't choose his name.
Well, I'm just saying.
You're so 5. June 4th, the Israeli Air Force conducts large-scale raids against Palestine Liberation Organization, known as the PLO, targets in Lebanon, including the PLO's headquarters and military depots in Beirut.
Ah!
Yeah, thank God that went away, and we never heard from them again.
There's been peace in the Middle East forever.
That same day, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan is released in theaters. Although this is the second of the Star Trek movie franchise following Star Trek the Motion Picture released in 1979, 10 years after the series had been canceled, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan is not an actual sequel to Star Trek the Motion Picture. Technically, this is a sequel to an episode of the original series, Space Seed, which aired February 16th, 1967, also starring Ricardo Montalbán as Khan.
Ugh, Space Seed, that's gross.
Such a great... I know, the title's the worst thing about it. It's a great episode. Highly recommend watching it. It makes a really good lead-in to this.
That's what Captain Kirk calls the seaman.
Space Seed.
Take my Space Seed.
Yeah, well, yeah. And a few women have heard that.
Yes.
So despite Star Trek the Motion Picture making over $139 million, the original budget of the film ballooned up to $44 million from an initial $15 million.
Yeah, and none of it made a difference.
That is insane to me.
There's a lot of special effects in that movie.
Yeah, but also almost 3 times the original budget? That's insane.
Well, when they realized they didn't have a plot or story or characters or anything, they needed to boost up all the churchy effects, all the special effects.
Garbage. Paramount had scrapped a planned reboot TV show called Star Trek Phase 2 that would have included the established characters from the original series alongside new younger actors because of the success of Star Wars in 1977 and execs getting cartoon dollar signs flashing in their eyes.
Okay, wow.
With mixed to negative reviews of the first film, which was written by series creator Gene Roddenberry, Paramount rejected his already written sequel script about Klingons traveling back in time to stop the JFK assassination.
Okay, that sounds kind of cool.
I was hoping that maybe one of the billion shows that came out since then have covered that or would do that, but I don't think anybody has.
Well, to what end? Like,
I don't know.
Why did the Klingons? I'm just curious. I want to read that script.
It would probably not. It would probably stop the creation of the Federation. Is my guess. Like it's something about JFK going to the moon and then all that stuff. That's my guess. But
okay.
I'm curious too. I mean, because it sounds more interesting than the original movie.
And then Stephen King wrote a book about it.
Yeah, and we found out that it was a bad idea.
Yeah, very bad. That was the greatest thing about that book is saving JFK ruined the world.
I won, but did I? No. Roddenberry was essentially forced off the project and given a cursory title as executive consultant. He would routinely give them notes, and they would ignore them.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, he was kind of a bear about that. I remember hearing a lot of friction on Next Generation between he and I forget the name of the producer, but he was very precious about Star Trek. Very precious about it.
Oh yeah, it was his baby. I mean, I've been going through every episode I see. I've been going through and reading all the Wikipedia pages, and there are so many times that writers were so pissed off, changed their names because he would essentially just rewrite the entire episode, and he was like, "Well, that's not mine anymore. Why am I getting credit for this?"
Yeah.
It
was tough to work with.
Which is funny because that's just so commonplace now. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. It's just funny. It's It was a different time, I suppose.
Yeah. Paramount brought in Harve Bennett, a television producer, to produce the sequel. Bennett co-created the Mod Squad with Aaron Spelling in 1968 before moving to Universal and producing shows and miniseries such as
The $6 Million Man, The Bionic Woman, Rich Man, Poor Man, The Invisible Man, and Gemini Man. A lot of men.
So many mans
Yes.
and one woman.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. That was like, what, 4 men and a woman? That's
I like men's. That
his
was his
autobiography is 4 men and a woman.
That was his. I like men's.
Men's. I like all the men's. He would reject titles, or reject whole series because he doesn't have a man in the title.
That's why, like, Mod Squad was supposed to be called Mod Men, but
Mod Men, but they were like,
but they put a woman in there, so it was a squad. That was such a great show
it was fun.
with Link and Julie,
Yeah, it was fun.
and it was like one of the first shows to have like a black undercover cop,
No,
Link
okay.
and Julie.
I don't know the most details about it. I've definitely watched some
Oh, I
episodes.
loved
of it.
Mod Squad so much.
Bennett was pulled into a meeting just a couple weeks after being hired at Paramount to meet with Michael Eisner, Jeffrey Katzenberg, and Charles Bluhdorn. They asked Bennett if he could make a better Star Trek movie than the first film, and after Bennett admitted that he thought the movie was boring, Bluhdorn got right to the point and asked,
Can you make it for less than $45 million?
yeah, Bennett replied with,
Where I come from, I can make 5 movies for that,
and then he got the job.
and made 1 movie for that.
It wasn't even for that. He made it for like $15 million, $12 million. It was really cheap. The only caveat was that Bennett had never bothered to watch the original series. Paramount gave him a dozen episodes to watch, and he realized the real problem with the first movie was that there wasn't a real villain to root against.
Feature.
Yeah, not a real villain, I said. He opted to use Khan from the episode Space Seed as the villain for the new sequel.
Good choice.
Bennett wrote a treatment that involved Kirk exploring a rebellion on a distant planet, only to find that the leader of the rebels was his son.
Dum dum dum.
They discover that Khan is the mastermind behind a mysterious plot and join forces to defeat him.
Yeah, in the original 2, all of Khan's underlings were going to be tribbles. And it was going to be called The Wrath of Khan and More Troubles with Tribbles.
More troubles. Oh, you remember the troubles? Yeah. Bennett hired Jack B. Sowards to develop the treatment into a full screenplay. Sowards had only written TV shows and TV movies, with the Star Trek sequel being his first feature film.
Good for him.
Sowards introduced the idea that Khan was trying to steal a weapon, the ultimate weapon the Federation had, and he called it the Omega System.
Ooh.
Spooky. He was worried that it was too negative and was at a loss to fix it until the art director suggested it be a terraforming tool.
Interesting.
Sowards renamed it the Genesis device. The entire cast agreed to reprise their roles, but Leonard Nimoy had one caveat. Spock would need to die in the movie.
Ooh, yeah.
I just can't imagine him being like, I'm kind of done with this.
Well, it's defined his life.
Well, and I don't think none of them had a very good time on the first movie. I think the actors in the first movie had a lot of problems. Like, I think there was a lot of issues with the production.
Yeah.
That nobody had fun on it.
Well, it wasn't a very fun movie to watch, so it doesn't look
yeah.
like it was a very fun
Yeah.
movie to make. It was very boring, and they relied upon the original cast members a little bit too much.
And I think, if I remember correctly, I think that Roddenberry was like rewriting the script almost every day. Like he was, it was just like, you know, it was just bad. Yeah. Bennett had originally put Spock's death at the end of the first act in the same vein of Janet Leigh in Psycho, but the death was leaked to the press and fans were pissed that Spock would die. So he moved the death to later in the script.
Nice, because you don't want people walking out.
Yeah. There were a lot of issues with the script and pre-production was due to start, so they brought in an original series writer to submit a screenplay, but it was too much like the show with a villain of the week bad guy. There were 2 bad guys, technically, and the producers rejected the script. A Paramount exec suggested they bring in Nicholas Meyer to solve the script issues. Meyer had written The 7% Solution in 1974, a Sherlock Holmes story from Watson's point of view.
That's good.
Yeah, super fun. And he directed Time After Time, released in 1979, about H.G. Wells using his time machine to hunt down Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I haven't seen it in 40 years, but
It's been alive since college. It's been a long time. I remember enjoying it, but I'm a big fan of time travel stuff, so... Again, Meyer had never seen any episode of Star Trek. Meyer went through all the old scripts and made a list of everything that he thought was interesting from them to create a more comprehensive story. He said,
the chief contribution I brought to Star Trek 2 was a healthy disrespect. Star Trek was a human allegory in a space format. That was both its strength and ultimately its weakness. I tried through irreverence to make them more human and a little less wooden. I didn't insist that Captain Kirk go to the bathroom, but did Star Trek have to be so sanctified?
yeah. I mean, you know, he went into it like it's just a script, a movie. He just ignored the 15 years of build up and was like, I'm just going to make a movie.
He stopped making it precious. That's the problem with Roddenberry. It was too precious to him.
Yeah. With deadlines for the special effects company looming, Meyer wrote the script in 12 days for no pay, much to the shock of the cast and crew. He also wrote subsequent drafts as needed. With the script in place, they brought the cast back together.
Why did he do it for no pay?
Knew he was going to direct. It was so he could direct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. William Shatner was recast. William Shatner was brought back as James T. Kirk.
I had to audition 17 times.
Yeah, sure. Shatner auditioning, that's funny. Once the original Star Trek series was canceled, Shatner had issues finding employment, being typecast as James T. Kirk. At a certain point, he was so broke that he was living in a truck bed camper while working theater jobs.
Cool.
Yeah, he was also married, had like 3 kids at the time.
Very irresponsible.
Yeah. Shatner got by taking guest roles on various TV shows, including
Medical Center, the FBI, Ironside, Mission Impossible, Hawaii Five-0, Barnaby Jones, Mannix, Columbo, The $6 Million Man, Police Story, and Kung Fu.
He had a main role in Barbary Coast, appearing in 14 episodes in 1975. Star Trek The Animated Series started in 1973 with Shatner returning as Kirk. It ran for 22 episodes over 2 seasons.
Not 22?
Nope. But thank you for pointing out my flaws. He also appeared in 16 movies before Star Trek The Motion Picture premiered. He was TV movie all the time. It was just like every other week he was in a TV movie.
Yeah.
For movies, Shatner wasn't given a role until 1974 when he appeared in 2 movies. Impulse, with him playing a serial killer of wealthy widows.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, during that shoot, a co-star with the character name of Karate Pete is supposed to be hung by Shatner. The actor almost died due to a faulty hanging system, and Shatner actually broke his finger helping save him, not realizing until much later.
Hey, I broke my finger. Saving Karate Pete.
I just love that it's Karate Pete.
Hey,
and the
Karate
fact
Pete.
that they literally almost killed him on set.
I'm Karate Pete, damn it.
And that same year, he was also in Big Bad Mama, Roger Corman's sexploitation film, co-starring Angie Dickinson and Tom Skerritt.
Yeah, not very good.
No.
It's basically like a Bonnie and Clyde type of deal.
Yeah, just with large buxom ladies.
But it was, the same Robin Banks.
Yeah. He appeared in The Devil's Reign in 1975, co-starring Tom Skerritt, Ernest Borgnine, and Eddie Albert.
Wow, he was like Tom Skerritt was his...
They just hung out together. They lived together, actually.
Did they?
No.
In the back of his pickup truck?
Yeah, they hung out together with his whole family and Tom Skerritt in the back of his camper van.
Tom is going to stay with us for a while.
Yeah, well, he can sleep under the bed.
Scooch. Over. Kids.
The Devil's Reign was also John Travolta's first feature film. Yeah, he had a small part. But it's the movie that unleashed John Travolta on us.
And his hair.
Yeah. In 1977, he appeared in Kingdom of the Spiders, the arachnid horror film.
Listen to our Kingdom of the Spiders show.
Yeah. During this time, he also narrated a number of documentaries. According to director Meyer, in the moment when Kirk and Spock used the prefix code to sabotage the Reliant, William Shatner kept overacting the line,
"Here it comes. Now!"
Yeah. According to Meyer, Shatner kept overselling the line, making what was about to happen too obvious. Meyer kept doing the scene over and over and over again until Shatner got bored, and he finally relaxed enough to say the line more casually.
That's so insulting. It's like he's a child.
Yeah,
You have to wear him out.
Well, if he wasn't overacting, he wouldn't have to do it.
I'm underacting.
In 1982, along with Star Trek II, Shatner also appeared in Airplane 2, the sequel.
Shh.
Yeah. Also in 1982, Shatner scored another leading role in a TV series playing T.J. Hooker.
Never saw an episode of that show.
Wow. He would appear in 90 episodes over 5 seasons.
Again, with a giant perm wig.
Oh my God. That's where I remember him, the giant perm. Shatner would also direct 10 episodes of T.J. Hooker starting in season 2. This would lead to him directing Star Trek V, The Final Frontier in 1989.
Blech.
His first feature directing gig.
Talk about a dude. William Shatner is one of the most overconfident human beings that have ever lived.
Yeah.
I mean, he's written books and directed movies, and everything that he does is pretty crappy, but people love him, so they'll forgive him.
There are definitely tech war fans out there.
Sure. Even though, like righty in quotes, because he didn't really write those.
No. I mean, at least he had the wherewithal to have a co-writer on
I was in the room 4% of the time.
I was 100% of the time. I was in the room 4% of the time.
I came up with the wars part of tech wars.
Shatner will be seen in the upcoming Keeper of the Cup, directed by Jason Priestley, about Toronto Maple Leaf fans trying to steal the Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah, hey, we're going to steal the cup, and we're going to drink Molson out of it.
He is at 91, I think, and he's still alive. And I just heard him on the radio with
Joe Rogan?
No, Black Astronomer.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yes, Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was on with Neil deGrasse Tyson. It was on NPR, but they're doing like a live show together where they're like just going to talk about science. It's super weird.
It is so weird. Look, man, this William Shatner, and I know he's had quite a bit of tragedy in his life, in his personal life. But in terms of a career, this MFer has lucked his way into so many things.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not particularly attractive. He's not particularly tall.
I mean, in the original series, he was pretty attractive. I don't know.
Okay, if that's your thing. But, and he
That's
is
usually how
definitely,
attraction works.
he is definitely not very talented.
No, but he's not.
Somehow, and also according to, most of his co-stars, not very likable.
Yeah, that's the thing that blows my... And we will talk about this a couple times, but it blows my mind that people are like, he's an asshole.
And this piece of shit has had a career for 60 years.
Somehow he's still working.
And gets to go up in space.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back from space, I'm so depressed. It's so sad. I am insignificant. I mean, finally, a blow to his huge ego going into space finally...
Didn't last very long.
No. I take it all back. I'm spectacular.
He's just making the most of his time.
Well, look, I will give you that. That son of a bitch has made the most of his... The most mediocre
he has
person.
Had an amazing life.
Oh, my God, for being so mediocre. Yeah. He's not even the best actor on that show.
No. No, God, no.
He's not even the best actor to play that part.
He's not even the second best actor. I don't even say he's the third best actor.
He is the best worst actor, though. There is something watchable about him. But if I were teaching an acting class, I would bring in clips of him as a what not to do.
Yeah. He did, watching the original series, he definitely had some charm to him. Like, he could look at the camera and do a little smile, and I guarantee you that women would be like, oh my God.
He fit well into the goofiness of that show.
Yes.
It was a perfect role for him.
Well, that's why he was typecast and had such a hard time getting parts.
Because he was such a bad actor. Yes. The only other thing that, and he overacted in that too, but it was fun, was the Twilight Zone episode. There's something on the plane.
Oh my God, he was so good in that.
There's something on the plane.
Yeah, it was. He had to freak out. It was. Yeah. He has the most narrow range of any actor I've ever seen. But when he nails it, he really nails it.
Well, he has to have the right part. It's not even him nailing it. It's him. Yeah. It's like a finding the perfect sheath for a knife.
Sure.
He fits that.
And even then, he's still bad.
But bad in a way that's watchable.
Yeah.
Like it's just the choices he makes. Like at the end of Khan, when they're at the end of the movie, he's talking about his best friend. Of all the souls I've met across the universe, his was the most human.
Yeah, I didn't understand what he said because he was just like mumble-mouthing.
And they repeated that exact same thing in Star Trek 3, because Star Trek 3 opens at the end of Star Trek 2. Yeah. So you get to see that horrible line reading twice.
A perfect example of William Shatner, the moment when it's near the beginning of the movie, and he's walking out of, I think he's with Spock, but he's walking down a hallway, and there's a janitor there. And the janitor's just, extra, somebody to have in the scene. Shatner insisted on turning and looking at him, and Nicholas Meyer kept going, you have to stop looking at the janitor. And he refused. He just kept looking at the janitor.
Well, he's a bitch. He is one of those dig down deep bitches that it's as soon as you question him, that's that great story of him doing, and I think it was for either the Star Trek animated series or for a video game.
Okay.
And there's that great clip of he's doing the VO, and the director's like, okay, let's try this line.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, all right. Spock, it looks like sabotage. Hey, Will, do you mind just, the word is sabotage? Well, I say sabotage. Well, could you try doing it one time as sabotage? No. I say sabotage. So in it is sabotage.
Right.
Because he is so insecure that he can't you know what I mean? It's like there are people that as soon as you challenge, and this is probably why people hated him, because it is so infuriating. And you know from dealing with me, it is so infuriating when somebody is just contrary, or you know, as soon as somebody gives you a note or something, and I know I'm really not like that, but if somebody gives you a note, shut up. I say sabotage.
Jim does what Jim wants.
Yeah. Well, I learned from Captain Kirk. He was my teacher. But you know, it's like that kind of shit just drives people nuts, and especially if you're working on something like that.
That's the big thing. It's one thing when it's you and I sitting here talking. It's another thing when you're holding up production.
But you've been on movies and you've been on plays, and we've been on these together, where somebody is holding everything up for no other reason other than their insecurity.
They just want to be right,
and they want attention.
Yeah.
You know, and
wait, actors wanting attention?
I don't feel like you've given me enough. Blah 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 blah. And it's just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean,
the other thing going into this, and I definitely didn't include this at the end, but like he had a lot of issues with the whole B storyline of like getting older.
Oh.
Because he was like, with enough makeup, I can still play like I'm 15 years younger. And they were like, Bill, you can't. You can't.
He definitely seems like that kind of guy that did not like to age. And that's why all the curly haired.
He totally acquiesced to it. Like the whole bit with the glasses and all, he hated all of it.
But that's the greatest part of the character.
I know.
It's those little bits.
It's what fed into it, and it made it better.
This is why Star Trek 2 and 3 and 4 are the best of the movies. Is because regardless of all of the plot stuff and the villains and all of that crap, the choice of concentrating on the friendship of the main three, that is what people love. People love seeing Spock and Bones bicker.
Yeah,
they love seeing Bones be a badass.
Right.
You know, when Khan's got him by the neck in the show. It was in the show.
Oh, yeah, in the show. Yeah.
It's like, either strangle me or snap my neck, but get it over with.
Yeah. Just finish it or don't.
The carotid artery is 2 inches to the left. Just cut it.
That was the first time he really felt like Bones.
Yeah.
But
they all their personalities all complement each other.
Yeah.
And the fact that because Bones and Spock always had this kind of playful, you green-blooded, heartless bastard.
Bones is incredibly human, and Spock is definitely not.
Well, Bones is a bleeding heart liberal doctor who just wants to save everybody.
Yeah.
And is just all about doing good. Yeah. And Spock is just like, well, it's not logical to, you green-blooded bastard.
I didn't have time for logic.
But that's what was so much fun. And that friendship and that trilateral relationship, that took us through even the bad movies.
Yeah.
It gave us something to hold on to. And Bones, and I know he wasn't super happy about it, but him becoming kind of the comic relief, but at least not so much the comic relief, but the less serious side of what are we doing?
Yeah,
you know,
the
side that the logical, strangely enough,
it's like, why are we doing it? What is it?
But it was those three guys, their friendship is what made the franchise last.
Yeah,
and that's what we were missing in the first Star Trek.
Yeah,
too many characters, not enough development, and too much worrying about bald lady and the other dude.
Ricardo Montalbán as Khan Noonien Singh. Montalbán was born in Mexico City, but moved to Los Angeles as a teen to live with a brother, and then moved with him to New York City in 1940 at the age of 20.
Damn.
Montalbán started appearing in a number of 3-minute musicals in Soundy's film jukeboxes.
Are those like crank things?
No, this is weird. I'd never heard of these before, and this was my rabbit hole for this episode. These things looked like jukeboxes, but they had screens, and you paid money. They were essentially precursors to music videos. They would play these 3-minute music videos. There was maybe like 1,800 of them produced.
Oh.
They'd be sitting like bars and stuff, and you would just put it on, watch your 3-minute video, and cost you a nickel or whatever.
What year was this?
They started in I want to say either late 30s or early 40s.
So these were film.
Yeah.
Reels.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was weird the way it was set up. It might even be even earlier than that, but it was super weird.
Yeah.
Only less than 2,000 were made, and I don't think any of them exist anymore.
The amusement entertainment technology back then was insane.
Yeah, yeah.
We had this like Target pistol shooting game.
Oh yeah,
from the same era.
yeah.
And you opened up the guts, and it was like a giant wristwatch. All the
the mechanical,
cogs and levers and clickers and
That's crazy.
clackers. Yeah, everything was just so meticulously made.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Still, like 40, 50 years later, the whole, we refurbished it, and all of the things twirled and twisted.
Yeah.
And the things went
Well, that's
by.
it. Like those music machines, like the not Kaleidos, what are they called? The Calliopes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the things that you would just hit a button and it would do a song. It was like, those things were insane.
Yeah.
And amazing. Absolutely.
Clear
amazing.
pianos.
Yeah, yeah. Montalbán was usually an extra singer in the Soundies and the chorus, except for one short where he was the lead, but he was in a ton of them. Like he apparently got to the right person and then was in all these weird music videos.
Yeah, gotta make a living.
Yeah. After hearing that his mother was dying, he moved back to Mexico City and started appearing in films and then became a huge star in Mexico.
Nice.
MGM saw his films and asked him to star as a bullfighter in their 1947 film Fiesta, opposite Esther Williams, which was being shot in Mexico. MGM loved him and signed him to a long-term contract.
Nice.
He appeared in a number of films, most of them relying on the fact that he was Mexican.
Oh, yeah. Either playing a Mexican or playing an Indian, because Mexicans played Indians.
And a lot of other things. He was ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah, that was the best.
I mean, in this movie, technically he's Indian. So, or actual Indian.
Yeah. From India.
Indian. Yeah. Sorry, not indigenous. Yes. By the 50s, he was appearing on TV as well as on Broadway. From 1957 to 1959, he starred in the musical Jamaica opposite Lena Horne, appearing in 558 performances.
Good Lord.
He was nominated for a Tony Award for that. Montalbán continued to work wherever he could. He said,
"I'm like a doctor on 24-hour call. I don't turn anything down."
That's good. This led to a guest star on Star Trek in 1967, the episode Space Seed, playing Khan. In 1975, Montalbán became the television spokesman for the new Chrysler Cordoba.
Oh, baby.
I forgot about this. His delivery of the
rich Corinthian leather
line became the subject of much parody, particularly from the likes of Eugene Levy on SCTV and Dan Aykroyd on SNL.
Yeah, because there was no such thing as Corinthian leather. They just made it up.
That is literally the second I read that, I heard it in my head, and I was like, that's the first time I ever heard of Montalbán. Was that whole advertising thing. Yeah. Rich Corinthian leather. In 1977, Montalbán scored the lead of Mr. Rourke in Fantasy Island. He would appear in 154 episodes over 7 seasons.
The plane, boss. Many people coming, boss.
Yes, Tattoo. They are coming. Smiles. Smiles, everyone. I want smiles.
I'm going to have to watch that show.
It's so great.
Yeah. I've seen random episodes, but...
She got more than she bargained for, huh, boss?
Yes, Tattoo. She came for love, but found reality.
Yes, she did, boss.
Producers went ahead with a movie script featuring Khan, taking it for granted that Montalbán would be interested in or available for the film.
Because he does. He's open 24/7.
He doesn't say no. None of them thought about the fact that Montalbán was very busy shooting Fantasy Island. But Montalbán was receptive when he was approached about reprising the role, and arrangements were made to film the movie so as not to conflict with Fantasy Island scheduling.
It just showed how little respect there was for TV in the film industry. Oh, he'll do it. Who cares about a stupid show?
Yeah. Due to this, Montalbán and Shatner never actually filmed together. They did all of their acting against readers, shooting 4 months apart.
I had to do my lines with the script girl, who, as you might imagine, sounded nothing like Beale. She was such a better actor.
Yeah, well, yeah. Pretty sure the Wall is a better actor than Bill. Shatner and Montalbán did get together and have a few lunches to discuss character.
What do you think about your character? You can't go over the top. I go over the top. But I will go over the top with my revenge. I will go over the top with my acting.
Yes. Montalbán regretted not getting to actually act against Shatner. And they did have, they obviously had scenes in the original episode.
I think
they were together.
The set would have exploded from the overacting.
I think the film would have just burned inside the camera.
There would have been nothing left of the sets after they chewed it all up.
Montalbán said that once he committed to Star Trek II, he realized that he had trouble getting back into the character of Khan. After years of playing Mr. Rourke on Fantasy Island, he found that he was stuck in that character.
Yes. I kept saying, smiles, crew. Give me smiles, Captain Kirk.
He requested a tape of Space Seed from Paramount Studios and proceeded to watch it repeatedly. By the third or fourth watching, he had recaptured the essence of Khan's character.
Yeah, the accent.
Contrary to speculation that Montalbán used a prosthetic chest, the director insisted no artificial devices were added to Montalbán's muscular physique.
That just like the bald girl in the first one. Everybody talked about his chest.
He was 61 when he made Star Trek II.
A damn good shape for 61.
Incredible. Montalbán enjoyed making the film, so much so that he played the role for much less than was offered him and counted the role as a career highlight.
Sure.
Yeah, they were essentially, he was like, give me like $100,000, and they were going to offer him way more than that. And they were like, okay.
Wasn't he also in one of the Naked Gun movies?
Yes, now that you say that,
like
I
a bad
think so.
guy.
Probably.
Yeah, he was so good.
During the filming of Across the Wide Missouri in 1951, Montalbán was thrown from his horse, knocked unconscious, and trampled by another horse, which aggravated his arteriovenous malformation and resulted in a traumatic back injury that never healed.
Oh, nothing worse than back pain.
Yeah. The pain increased as he aged. In 1993, he underwent over 9 hours of spinal surgery that left his body below the waist impaired and requiring the use of mobility aids.
Yeah, he was in a wheelchair after that.
Despite constant pain, he continued to perform, providing voices for animated films and supporting his Nosotros Foundation. The Nosotros Foundation was founded by Montalbán and other Mexican actors to combat the negative stereotypes that Mexicans had in Hollywood films.
Do you know what nosotros means?
We.
Yeah.
Yeah. Filmmaker Robert Rodriguez created the role of Valentin Avellán in the Spy Kids film series specifically for Montalbán.
Yeah, he had a really cool wheelchair in that.
He did, that's right. On January 14th, 2009, Montalbán died at his home in Los Angeles at the age of 88 from congestive heart failure.
Oh, that was a bummer.
Yeah. Nimoy came back as Spock. Nimoy started acting on stage at the early age of 8 and got into film in 1951 at the age of 20.
Okay.
He had his first lead role in 1951 in Kid Monk Baroni.
What? Was he Kid Monk Baroni?
He was the lead. He thought this movie would make him a star, but the film was a flop.
He really thought that Kid Monk Baroni was going to be a big hit.
It's 1952, man. I don't know.
He was 20. He was dumb.
Yeah. In 1953, Spock joined the U.S. Army Reserves, and while there, Kid Monk Baroni became more popular, which led to him getting more work after he left the Army in 1955.
So you're just calling him Spock now. He's no longer Leonard Nimoy?
Did I call him Spock? Oh, yeah, I did. All right. Realizing that it's funny because I think I do that through the whole. Yeah.
Let's say, man, it's his most famous role.
Realizing that he wasn't going to be a lead actor with a heavy Boston accent and his slim build, he took a ton of supporting roles in B movies and made guest appearances in TV shows.
He has the longest nose to lip.
It is like
real estate that I've seen.
You could grow like a mile of corn on that thing.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It's a very long lip area. What do you?
Yeah, I don't know what the upper lip. I guess
it's the.
There's a name for it. The area between
perineum.
Nope. That is not it. By the time Nimoy was offered the part of Spock, he had a good reputation as a character actor. He turned down a role in Peyton Place to be Spock.
Nice.
Hey, there I called him Nimoy. After Star Trek was canceled, Nimoy immediately joined the cast of Mission Impossible, replacing Martin Landau in the series.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot he was in that. He was good.
He would appear in 49 episodes. Nimoy had more success on TV than in film, but he did appear in a couple of movies before Star Trek The Motion Picture. Catlow in 1971, starring Yul Brynner and Richard Crenna, based on a novel by Louis L'Amour.
It must have been a Western, then.
It was a Western about, I think they were robbing something.
Yes, I'm Yul Brynner. I'm going to rob this bank.
Yeah.
And I'm Richard Crenna. And I have been trained to kill.
And Louis L'Amour literally in every script wrote, I am, before they said every line. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was also in Invasion of the Body Snatchers in 1978, starring Donald Sutherland.
Listen to our Invasion of the Body Snatchers. He was really good in that.
He was. Such a good movie. Please listen to that episode. It's such a good movie. And watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's good. Nimoy had not intended to have a role in the motion picture sequel, but was enticed back on the promise that his character would be given a dramatic death scene.
Yes.
Nimoy reasoned that since The Wrath of Khan would be the final Star Trek film, having Spock
go out in a blaze of glory
seemed like a good way to end the character.
Yeah, the last Star Trek film. Nice one. Good one. Good one, Spock.
The glass chamber where Spock dies was effectively airtight.
Okay.
The crew had to slip hoses underneath to pump air into the chamber. The air compressor they used was so loud that it had to be turned off when he or William Shatner delivered a line.
Yes.
Seems like bad design.
Did it have to be airtight because of the smoke and stuff inside?
Probably. I don't know. We'll talk more about some other things that were very badly designed. But again, this is why when you make a movie for $12 million that looks like it's a $40 million movie, actors hold their breath.
Yeah, that's true.
Nimoy had a long career directing some TV in the 70s and early 80s, including an episode of T.J. Hooker.
Yeah, he was a really good director.
He directed his first feature in 1984 with Star Trek III, The Search for Spock.
That's why he wasn't in it very much.
Yeah, he would also direct Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home in 1986.
That's a great one.
His first non-Star Trek motion picture would be 3 Men and a Baby in 1987.
Very fun movie with our buddy Tom Selleck.
I love that movie so much. In January 2014, Nimoy revealed publicly that he'd been diagnosed with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, also known as COPD, a condition he attributed to a smoking addiction he had quit about 30 years earlier.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to my COPD.
Yeah, my dad has COPD. It sucks. On February 19th, 2015, having been in and out of hospitals for several months, Nimoy was taken to UCLA Medical Center for chest pains. On February 25th, 2015, Nimoy fell into a coma and died of complications from COPD at his home in the Bel Air neighborhood of Los Angeles on the morning of February 27th at the age of 83.
Oh.
Yeah. I heard a really good, interesting interview with his son, Adam.
Yeah.
He apparently had a really shitty childhood. Apparently, Leonard Nimoy was not a good dad.
Well, most performers aren't.
He's made peace with it. Mm-hmm. And apparently before he died, they had, but I don't think they spoke for a long time.
It happens, man. It happens. There's a certain amount of ego and selfishness that comes with being an actor. And you forgot one of the best things that Leonard Nimoy ever did.
Yeah.
Which is his singing career and the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
Yes. I assumed that we would cover Nimoy again at some point.
Oh, Bilbo Baggins.
Him and duetting with Shatner would be perfect.
I love Bilbo Baggins.
DeForest Kelley came back as Leonard McCoy. I always forget that his name is Leonard.
Yeah.
Lenny McCoy.
Old Leonard McCoy.
Kelley's first feature film was in 1947 with Fear in the Night. His next film was his first lead, leading Kelley to believe he was going to become a star.
This seems like a...
Sound familiar?
familiar ring to it.
Sadly, it never happened. He had a long career in westerns and movies and TV. Gene Roddenberry had initially offered the role of Spock to Kelley for the original series, but Kelley refused it. Yeah. Despite being relatively shy and close friends with Shatner and Nimoy, Kelley was always frustrated by the attention that Shatner received as lead and how fans were possessed with Spock mania. Do you remember Spock Mania?
Yeah, I had Spock Mania.
Yeah. I mean, when the original series ended, Kelley had the same typecasting problem that Shatner had. He made a few guest appearances on television and reprised the role of McCoy for the Star Trek animated series. He would only be in one film, 1972's Night of the Lepus.
Listen to our Night of the Lepus show.
Yeah, it's not a very good movie.
Come on now.
Listen to it. It's fun to watch. Between the two of them with the monsters, Kingdom of the Spiders is a much better movie.
Yes.
It has such a great ending. But Night of the Lepus is, man.
Nothing scary about big rabbits.
Yeah, listen to our episode why that movie could have been better and did not work. Until the first Star Trek motion picture, he essentially retired. Kelley was dissatisfied with an early version of the Star Trek II script to the point that he considered not taking part.
I might not do this.
Kelley noted his character spoke many of the film's funnier lines and felt that his role was essential in bringing a lighter side to the on-screen drama.
Well, that's your character, pal.
He probably was like, sure, I'll be the funny doing, whatever. He was making pretty good money every year appearing at Star Trek conventions. He would often pull in $50,000 to $60,000 every year just from going to conventions.
Oh, yeah. Well, people are pulling that in on a weekend now.
Oh, I know. Well, now. I mean, this was back in the late 70s.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He appeared as McCoy in the first 6 Star Trek movies until Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. He also made an appearance as a 137-year-old McCoy in an episode of Star Trek Next Generation.
I remember that.
I don't. It's funny, because I know I've seen that episode, but I don't remember him at all.
He looks old.
Kelley was diagnosed with stomach cancer in 1997, from which he died on June 11th, 1999, at the age of 79.
Too young.
Too young. James Doohan was cast as Montgomery Scott.
Just want to say on record that McCoy was always my favorite character on Star Trek.
Yeah, as I'm watching the show, he's very quickly becoming my favorite.
I just liked him because he didn't put up with bullshit. He was kind of funny, and he had a very realistic perspective of things. Like he saw things. I don't know if I want to use the word logically because that's Spock's thing.
No, but he was a humanist. Like he was always trying to do what's best for everybody.
Physician, do no harm.
Yeah. So Doohan Doohan came back as Montgomery Scotty as he's called. Doohan was a Canadian that saw action on D-Day in Normandy during World War II.
Damn.
While moving between posts just before midnight, a nervous Canadian accidentally shot him 6 times, 4 in his leg, 1 in his chest, and 1 through his right middle finger.
Oh, jeez, I'm so sorry, eh? Oh, my goodness, eh? I didn't mean to shoot you. I just got a little nervous, eh?
6 times!
Oh, ba-bang, bang, ba-bang, ba-bang,
And the funny
bang.
thing is it was a pistol.
Oh boy.
No.
I just shoot my friend, eh? Oh, no.
The only reason Doohan survived was because the chest shot was stopped by his silver cigarette case that was given to him by his brother.
See, smoking saves lives.
Yeah. His middle finger had to be amputated, and he did his best to hide the missing finger in his acting work.
Yeah, he could never flip the bird to...
No.
Shatner.
He would sometimes wear gloves that had the fake finger on it, so, it would look like, when he didn't have to, make fists and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doohan's career was sporadic before Star Trek, guest starring in some TV episodes and mostly appearing uncredited in film. Having developed a talent for accents at a young age, when he was auditioning for Star Trek, he offered several different accents for the character.
Yes. Okay, this time I'm going to do Native American.
I like them all, but can you not do Chinese?
It's my best one. How about Canadian, eh? You want me to be from Canada?
When Roddenberry asked him which accent he preferred, Doohan replied,
If you want an engineer, in my experience, the best engineer is a Scotsman.
and it must be true, because in The Next Generation, they pulled another Scot in for, another Scotsman in for the engineer.
Was he Scotch or Irish?
Oh, maybe it was Irish.
I think he's Irish, that
I
actor.
don't
at least
remember.
is Irish.
Wow. Yeah. No, I think you're right, actually, now that you say that. Like the others, Doohan had problems getting work after being typecast in Star Trek.
Look, none of these guys are particularly attractive. None of these guys are particularly talented. Star Trek was an anomaly, man,
Well, part of the problem was that the show was relatively popular when it came out. It became so much more popular in syndication.
Right.
And in running constantly all the time.
Well, and with kids. It wasn't
Yeah.
popular with adults as much as it was with children.
And so, the
That's
problem,
the cartoon.
because it continued to be popular that way, when they would go try to get parts, they'd be like, well, you're Scotty.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm not. I'm an actor.
Yeah.
And it just, it's the double-edged sword, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He did appear in some TV and films, but the roles were few and far between. He did reprise the role of Scotty for the Star Trek animated series. Like Kelley, he would support himself by making appearances at conventions and speaking at colleges. When interviewed about this film in the mid-1980s, Doohan stated that he felt that Ricardo Montalbán should have been Oscar-nominated for his performance. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. Subsequently, Doohan lamented that the Academy Awards never really give those type of awards or nominations for such movies.
Because award shows bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. Apparently, Doohan and Shatner did not get along terribly well. He stated,
I like Captain Kirk, but I sure don't like Bill.
I like that even when he's not in character, he's still doing the Scottish accent.
He does.
He would appear in 7 of the Star Trek films, with his final being Star Trek Generations.
Ugh.
Apparently, by that point, the rancor between Shatner and Doohan had abated, and they got along during the production.
Well, you get old and you stop caring about the bullshit that you cared about before.
That's true. On July 20th, 2005, at 5:30 in the morning, Doohan died at his home in Redmond, Washington, due to complications of pulmonary fibrosis, which was believed to be exposure to noxious substances during World War II.
Oh.
Yeah, he was 85. George Takei was cast as Hikaru Sulu.
Oh, my.
Takei was interned at a segregation camp in California during World War II.
Ugh.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Sorry.
That was quite unpleasant.
He had relatives that died during the Hiroshima atomic bombing.
Good Lord.
Literally, it was an uncle and 4-year-old cousin or something.
At least he didn't know the 4-year-old that long.
Oh, my.
Oh, my. Horrible joke.
After leaving the internment camp, they didn't have bank accounts and couldn't find work, so his family ended up living on Skid Row for 5 years.
Nice that they took care of the people after they interned them.
Yeah. Skid Row, which is still here in LA and still exists, is still shitty.
Yeah.
But I cannot believe that. I think it was during his high school years.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, that MFer's been through it, man.
Yeah. Takei started his career in Hollywood by dubbing English for Japanese monster movies like Rodan and Godzilla Raids Again.
Yes.
Takei found some work on TV and in film, acting alongside Frank Sinatra, Richard Burton, Jeffrey Hunter, Alec Guinness, James Caan, and Cary Grant. So he's got some chops.
Yes.
But playing like a waiter.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but that was what it was like back then.
Sulu was supposed to have a bigger role in the second season of Star Trek, but Takei was cast in the Green Berets with John Wayne, which caused him to only be in half the episodes that season.
What a stupid choice making that movie. The only pro-Vietnam movie ever made.
Yeah, well.
And it takes John Wayne to make
Sulu played a Viet Cong, so.
Probably.
No,
you know
did.
what? Did he?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
You know who Timothy Hutton's dad is in that movie?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I forget his first
Charlie
name.
Hutton?
Charlie Hutton. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, we're going to win this Vietnam War. We're going to win it decisively. And it's going to take a Green Berets to do it. Now let's go win this war.
I think he's going to win the war in 2 weeks.
Way we lost. Oh.
Much like the other cast members, work was few and far between for Takei after Star Trek ended. He appeared in some TV shows, but mostly made money guesting on the Star Trek convention circuit. He also reprised the role of Sulu for the animated series. Takei had not wanted to reprise his role for The Wrath of Khan, but Shatner persuaded him to return, which is ironic because Takei had not been quiet about he and Shatner didn't really get along during the show.
Hey, asshole, you should do the movie.
Oh, are you going to be in it?
Of course.
Well, then I say do.
They appear to have mended their relationship since then. During I want to say it was 2009, they did the roast of Shatner, and Takei came up and did a bunch of jokes.
Takei was so good on the Howard Stern show as a guest.
Yeah.
And that's where we learned, because he did not hold back about Shat and his feelings of him. And that's where you get the, oh my.
Yeah.
Because he would, oh my. That was basically all of his, it's just reacting to Howard Stern being so crazy.
Right.
I knew George Takei
for
a little while. One of the other things that he did was he, I believe, was one of the founding members of the East West Players.
Oh, yes, he was. Yes.
Which is an Asian theater company in Los Angeles. They have a beautiful theater. I had a friend. She did a lot of work there.
They do put on great shows.
Great shows. I saw the Imelda Marcos musical there.
Oh, nice.
Imelda, which was so fun.
Nice.
And a couple other things. And he would always be there, and my friend was friends with him. So, she introduced me, and, subsequently I got to meet him a few times. And he was always just so nice.
Oh, what you do? Oh, that's very interesting.
It's just like a very nice, sweetheart. And it was just so much fun to get to know him in a completely different environment.
Right.
Where he really was shining. Like, he didn't do a ton of acting there at that point.
Yeah.
I think he was, on the board of governors or whatever, maybe even the, one of the main folks. But
probably
he was always there, always supporting, there for fundraising, and a lover of theater, a lover of art, and a really fun and cool guy to talk to. I really am glad that I got to meet him.
It's really weird because he is so, he connected to the internet and just became the internet.
Yes.
And him being so prevalent the last 15 years, watching him in the original series is the biggest sticker shock because he's so young. He just looks so young.
The greatest is the episode where he goes crazy, with the sword and stuff. Have you gotten to that one?
I think that's the episode I'm on right now.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm a pirate.
And, but yeah, he, once he came out of the closet, everything changed.
Yeah.
Everything changed. Once he embraced who he was, then the world embraced him, and he kind of just became the internet's uncle,
Yeah. He was like, oh, he's just sweet and nice.
Still, he posts a lot of political stuff. He's very vocal about his liberty, his liberal political.
Oh yeah, he does not hide. He doesn't hide his anything. Yeah,
he's just a good dude. He from what I've experienced with him, he's just a really good dude. He's my favorite. He may not be my favorite character, but he's probably my favorite person.
Yeah.
from Star Trek.
Yeah. He would appear in the first 6 Star Trek movies. By number 6, he was the captain of his own ship. He would guest star on the 30th anniversary episode of Star Trek Voyager.
Yes, the Excelsior.
Yeah. No, I think it's... Oh, yeah, he runs the Excelsior. Sorry. I was like, no, the Star Trek Voyager is called the Voyager.
Yes, and I think he was on the Excelsior.
The Excelsior. I think you're right, yeah. Takei, he still gets plenty of work at the age of 89, mostly in voiceover, but he's still working hard.
Yeah, he's great. He's a really great dude, and somebody who's really been through it. And you hear him speak about his time at the internment camp. It's heartbreaking. And
There was so much more nastiness that I did not include. It was gross.
It is such a disservice to the country, to the citizen of this country, to try to whitewash all that shit and not come to terms with it and really teach it so we never go back there again. And the reason why we're kind of trickling back to some of that shit now is because people don't pay attention anymore.
Right. Walter Koenig came back as Pavel Chekhov.
Well, I've got to get the whistle.
It's really weird because he's not in the first season, and I have not seen him yet.
Oh.
So it's like, seeing him in this was like, okay. His father was a communist who was investigated by the FBI during the McCarthy era. Koenig attended Grinnell College in Grinnell, Iowa with a pre-med major. I have a lot of friends that went to Grinnell.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually visited the Grinnell campus a number of times. Got drunk there many times. Grinnell College, it's a fun place.
Nice.
It is probably the most liberal place on the planet.
Really?
Oh my God.
And it's in Iowa.
It is in a small town, and man, the townies hate the college students there.
I bet.
Yeah.
Can you dance?
Oh yeah. It's great because they had. I didn't go there because they didn't have a film program, and I found out later that essentially they were like, you should have come here. We would have literally created a film program for you.
Nice.
And I was like, that's the kind of college it is.
That's cool.
Yeah. So he transferred to UCLA and received a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. After a professor encouraged Koenig to become an actor, he attended Neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater in New York City with fellow students Dabney Coleman, Christopher Lloyd, and James Caan. This would be a great group to hang out with.
A very funny group.
I want to see a sitcom with 4 of them. That'd be great.
Okie doke. You didn't pay for your share of the cheese sticks.
One of Koenig's early roles was in Gene Roddenberry's first TV show, The Lieutenant. He guest starred on one episode whose mother is a member of the American Communist Party.
Nice.
To bring it all full circle.
Typecast.
Koenig was brought in to replace Takei for the episodes he couldn't perform in for season 2.
Because he was doing the Green Berets?
Yes. He was cast because he looked eerily similar to Davy Jones of the Monkees.
He does.
Yeah, seriously. And then they gave him a wig to make him look even more like Davy Jones of the Monkees.
Yes.
They literally did it because they wanted to pull in younger kids.
Sure.
Like, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Eventually, his hair grew out enough they could cut it to look like Davy Jones. But,
Nice. That must have been awful for him.
no, Takei and Koenig had to share a dressing room, and usually were only given one script, even after they both started appearing together on the show.
And one chair. They each had to put one butt cheek
One
on.
cheek. Yeah.
Scoot over.
I am enjoying this.
Oh my. This is very comfortable for me.
Actually, Takei was angered by this, almost to the point of leaving the show, but got along with Koenig, who eventually was his best man at his wedding in 2008.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hated each other at the beginning, but then they realized, well, this is going to be a good thing.
We're both minorities. We got to stick together.
He was only supposed to be a recurring character, but his popularity with the fans gave him a promotion to a series regular. Koenig had the same issues as the other cast as getting roles after Star Trek ended. He was the only cast member not to be asked to reprise his role on the animated series. And he found this out at a convention from a fan.
What a dick move.
Someone came up and said, "Oh, why aren't you in the show?" And he was like, "What show?"
What show?
Yeah. Despite this, Koenig was also getting work as a writer and actually wrote an episode of the animated series for Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah, it was an episode where Chekhov comes back and saves the day.
The episode title was called I Hate Gene Roddenberry.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here? I thought we fired you.
He would reprise the role of Chekhov for 7 of the Star Trek movies. Koenig would also have a recurring role on another cult sci-fi show, Babylon 5, appearing in 12 episodes.
When are you going to watch that?
At some point, sometime in the future.
How many seasons of that do you own?
5. All 5.
Have you ever opened it?
Nope. He would reprise the role of Chekhov for an episode of Picard in 2023, and while it was just his voice, we find out that he becomes president of the Federation.
Nice.
Yeah, he is still working at the age of 89.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nichelle Nichols came back as Uhura. Nichols started her career as a singer, dancer, and model in Chicago. She started studying ballet at the age of 12.
Ooh.
Her first feature was as the principal dancer in the 1959 film version of Porgy and Bess. Porgy and Bess.
Nice.
When Nichols was cast in Star Trek, she was one of the first black women featured in a major television series.
True that.
Towards the end of the first season, she was offered a role on Broadway, and while she always preferred the stage over the screen, a certain Star Trek fan convinced her to stay on the show.
Oh.
She'd actually turned in her resignation from the show, but Roddenberry asked her to take the weekend off and think about it. During that weekend, she attended a banquet organized by the NAACP, and she was told a fan wanted to meet her. Literally, Martin Luther King walked in, and her first thought was, that fan's going to have to wait. Turns out it was Martin Luther King Jr., the fan that wanted to meet her.
I have a dream. It's for you to stay on Star Trek, Nichelle.
He loved the show. He told her that it was the only show he would let his kids stay up to watch. They watched it together as a family.
Nice.
When she told him she was leaving the show, he said,
You cannot. You cannot. For the first time on television, we will be seen as we should be seen every day as intelligent, quality, beautiful people who can sing, dance, and go to space, who are professors, lawyers. If you leave, that door can be closed because your role is not a black role. It is not a female role. He can fill it with anybody, even an alien. Oh, Jesus. If you have Martin Luther King Jr. telling you, you're going to have to stay.
Yeah, King said her role is vital, comparing it to the marches they've been organizing.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. It is literally because they never acknowledged that she was black.
No.
She just was there.
Exactly.
She
Well,
was-
they didn't
yeah.
acknowledge that, the Asian, the Russian, the Scot, it was, or the alien, everybody was just part of the Federation. There was no prejudice or bigotry.
No. When she returned to work on Monday, she told Roddenberry she would stay. When she told him what King said, Roddenberry started crying.
He got it so wrong. But amazing. Could you imagine could you imagine if she's like, no, Martin, I'm going to go do the play.
I really love theater, so
is
I
a-
appreciate your fandom, but
This is a crappy B-level sci-fi show, Martin. Just go back to having dreams.
oh man. When the show ended, she reprised her role in the animated series. She would appear in 6 Star Trek movies. She continued to work in film and TV. She was a spokesperson for NASA from the late 70s to the mid-2010s.
Oh, yeah.
She helped recruit more diversity into NASA. In 2015, she had a minor stroke, and in 2018 was diagnosed with dementia, which caused her to stop going to sci-fi conventions. Sadly, she died of heart failure in Silver City, New Mexico on July 30th, 2022 at the age of 89, and her ashes were launched into deep space.
Nice.
I believe it was her and Doohan, and then,
But Doohan was first.
no, they weren't together.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think they went together. And then there was an astronomer or somebody else that went up as well. They did all 3, yeah.
Well, she died in 2022. I thought they shot his
Oh,
way
I don't
before
know.
that. A portion of James Doohan's ashes were secretly smuggled onto the International Space Station in 2008.
Her ashes were launched into deep space along with Majel Barrett,
right.
Gene Roddenberry's wife,
yeah.
and Douglas Trumbull. He was film director and visual sex.
Okay, nice.
He was a visual effects supervisor. He worked on 2001: A Space Odyssey,
Oh,
and
okay.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Star Trek: The Motion Picture, Blade Runner. He was a special effects guy.
Right. And
Anyway.
Scotty's ashes were smuggled onto the ISS station in 2008.
Ah, okay.
And then
so he wasn't shot into deep space. He just took a way station
He was scattered in the...
in the space station.
Yes.
God, that must have sucked with him just
I
flying
think
around.
they don't scatter him. I think they put it someplace special. And then 12 years after that...
I got some more Scotty up my nose.
Get Scotty in my face.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. That's interesting.
They didn't... Yeah, it came out 12 years after...
Okay.
They did
That
it.
they did it.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
It came out 2020 that they
Okay.
did it in 2000.
Well, because they are. I know that with the space launches, they are allowed to bring a couple of personal items, so it wouldn't be surprising if, he just had somebody brought something that has ashes in it.
Well, his wishes were to have his ashes in space. So his son, Chris, he worked with Richard Garriott to get the ashes onto the International
Okay.
Space Station.
Well, that's cool. Well, that's good.
Wow. So the way that they did it is 3 laminated cards containing photos and ashes were made One was returned to the family, one was released into space, and the third was hidden by Garriott on the ISS.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there's one in space, one in the family.
Wow. Okay.
And one on the spaceship.
That's good. So when Shatner went to space, everyone should have laughed at him and said, "You were not the first Star Trek member to go into space."
I'm the first live actor from Star Trek to go to space.
Bibi Besch was cast as Carol Marcus, the lead scientist working on Project Genesis and the mother of Kirk's son. Besch was born in Vienna in 1942, the daughter of a German actress and an Austrian race car driver.
Cool.
They moved to America after the war ended. We won't talk about what they did during the war.
Yes. Well, I'm sure she was fine, but possibly her family was on a side that was not very good.
Yeah. Besch started on soap operas and would continue appearing on various programs throughout her career. Her feature film debut was in 1975 with Distance, a drama about two army couples and their problems.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. She would appear in Meteor in 1979, starring Sean Connery and Natalie Wood.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot. Listen to our Meteor show.
Yeah. For Star Trek II, Meyer wanted an actress for the role who was beautiful enough that it was plausible a womanizer such as Kirk would fall for her, yet who would also project a sense of intelligence.
Ugh. She's not pretty enough for Kirk. They had him in all the auditions. No.
You
Maybe.
are not pretty enough.
You aren't pretty enough to be.
I would never procreate with her.
Kirk likes green women.
After Star Trek II, she worked with Nicholas Meyer again in the TV movie The Day After.
Oh, yeah. I forgot she was in that, too. Listen to our Day After show.
Let's do our Day After show. Besch stated that she learned so much about nuclear warfare during that shoot that she would have approached the character of Dr. Marcus differently, knowing the kind of destruction the Genesis device could have.
Oh, nice.
In 1990, she appeared in Tremors with Kevin Bacon.
All right. Damn it.
Listen to our Tremors show.
Yeah, we've covered her more than most any actor in this whole movie.
She would be nominated for 2 Emmys, one for her role on Doing Time on Maple Drive, a TV movie in 1992, and one for a guest appearance on Northern Exposure in 1993.
That was a great show.
Sadly, Besch died of breast cancer in Los Angeles on September 7th, 1996 at the age of 54.
Whoa. So how old? So she was only in her 40s in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and 40. In fact, she would have been 40.
Wow.
Or 39 or 40 when she made this.
Interesting.
Yeah. Merritt Butrick as David Marcus was cast as David Marcus, a Project Genesis scientist and Kirk's son.
Feels so bad for him as a kid.
Yeah,
With the last name Butrick.
God,
Apparently he knew how to
That's
do
a cute
some
butt
butt
trick. Oh, Butrick made his screen debut in 1981 as a rapist on Hill Street Blues.
Yeah.
He's really just leaned into that.
I'll show you a butt trick.
I was waiting for that. He became nationally known when he won the role of Johnny Slash on Square Peg, starring Jamie Gertz and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Square peg, square. I really want to na-na. Square peg, square.
I've never seen this show
Oh,
before.
it's such a good show. Sarah Jessica Parker and her friend, who's
Jamie
kind of
Gertz?
chubby. No, Jamie Gertz is not her friend. They're
Oh.
actually not friends at all. They're
are
enemies.
they the enemies? Okay.
They're like the nerds, and then Butrick is kind of the mod new wave dude that always has his headphones in, and
Right.
he's just kind of talks like this, and he's got a dumb friend, and then Jamie Gertz is like the goody, super smart,
No. Okay.
kind of nemesis of the two nerds.
Only ran for 20 episodes over one season.
It was such a groundbreaking show, and you ask any weirdo Gen Xer, it's probably their favorite show from back then because it was such a different and good show.
Yeah. For Star Trek II, Meyer liked that Butrick's hair was blonde like Besch's and curly like Shatner's, making him a plausible child of the two.
Yes, that's exactly what we were thinking.
Literally got the part because of his hair.
Yeah. Well, good thing Shatner was wearing that perm wig at that point.
Yeah. Also in 1982, Butrick appeared in Zapped, starring Scott Baio.
And Willie Ames.
Oh, was he in it too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Scott Baio wouldn't do anything back then without Willie Ames.
Ugh. Gross. He would also reprise the character of David Marcus in Star Trek III. Later, he would appear in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. In 1988, he appeared in Fright Night Part 2. Sadly, Butrick died of toxoplasmosis complicated by AIDS on March 17th, 1989, at the age of 29.
That was tragic, man.
So
Tragic.
sad. God, that's so sad.
He was really fun. He was a good actor. It was really hard to see him in anything after Square Pegs because he's so defined that character. He was so good as that character.
Right.
That it was weird to see him in Star Trek playing kind of a scientist.
He was very underserved in Star Trek 2. And there was the question was, does he know it's the dad or not? And the scene at the end with him and Shatner was really good.
Yeah.
I was really impressed. And I'm
know
happy
you're
that
my
he's
dad.
in 3.
I know you're my dad. I wish you weren't my dad.
Well, he said, no, I'm glad you're my dad, because you did the right thing.
Yeah. Whatever.
You
Dad.
saved everybody.
You're not my dad.
I am your father. That's what he said.
No, that was...
Luke, I am.
My name's not Luke.
It's David.
David, I am your father.
I know. Can you say it faster?
I cannot.
Paul Winfield was cast as Clark Terrell, the captain of the Reliant.
Yes.
We've discussed Winfield a number of times, so check out our episodes on The Terminator, or Mars Attacks, or The Serpent on the Rainbow, or Presumed Innocent.
Oh, we did Presumed Innocent. I forgot that.
Again, another actor we've covered many, many times.
I had a talent crush on him. I loved everything he did.
So good all the time.
Such a solid actor. A very tragic life. He had to stay closeted for most of his life.
Yeah.
But really, I think, and this is going to sound effed up. This is going to sound messed up, but I think sometimes the pain of having to be somebody else for all your life makes you a better actor because you were basically acting all the time.
Yeah. He was nominated for an Academy Award for his role in Sounder in 1972, but lost to Marlon Brando for The Godfather.
Well, no shame in that.
Yeah. For Star Trek II, Meyer had seen Winfield's work in films such as Sounder and thought highly of him. Meyer thought in retrospect that the SETI eel scenes might have been corny, but felt that Winfield's performance helped add gravity.
He did. He really did.
He made the movie better. And to be honest, I would be kind of surprised. He's like, why is he in a Star Trek movie?
Yeah.
But he was great.
Yeah.
Winfield also appeared in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation and in an episode of Babylon 5.
Yeah, how was he in that?
He was great.
You watched that, right?
No, I still haven't seen it yet.
yet?
Not in the 10 minutes since the last time we mentioned
All
it.
right, I'll keep asking.
After the long battle with obesity and diabetes, Winfield died from a heart attack on March 7th, 2004 at the age of 64.
So you're saying he died because he was fat?
I
I'm just kidding.
think it led into his diabetes, I think.
Well, he was an unhappy guy sometimes. I don't know. It's just it's the things that we do to our bodies and ourselves to punish ourselves. It sucks.
Yeah. I mean, 64 is too young. He had a great career.
64 is way too young.
He has an amazing oeuvre, and you should check out everything he's in.
Yes.
Kirstie Alley was cast as Savik, Spock's protege and a Starfleet commander in training aboard Enterprise.
Ooh.
Alley moved to L.A. from Kansas to pursue Scientology. Literally. Also to be an actor?
It's so weird because that's like I remember in the 70s and 80s, you would always see commercials for Dianetics.
Oh, yeah.
The book Dianetics.
Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard.
Why are you so happy? Dianetics. I mean, why are you so unhappy?
And then it was always the book slammed down with the eruption of the fire on the front and stuff. It was like, what the hell?
Why do you sabotage yourself? Page 63.
Yeah.
Dianetics.
God, it's so sad. Volcanoes. That's what's on the front. Volcanoes.
Yes.
Which we find out later is really the core behind Scientology.
Well, the Thetans, which are demons from other planets that have asphyxiated themselves to
the volcanoes
asphyx themselves to us. They live in the volcano.
Well, that's because the volcanoes are where the 747 spaceships crashed into on Earth, and what caused all the thing.
Well, it caused the Thetans to go into ghost form,
right?
And then they attach themselves to human beings, and that's why you have those two little joystick things that you hold on to when you're being assessed or whatever. And that shows you.
Does it pull the Thetans out?
No.
It just tells you
how many Thetans are infesting you.
Are you at Thetan level 7?
Me, personally, I'm at Thetan level 0. I've been in Scientology for 40 years. I've made it to the top.
I think it goes the other direction.
Cost me about $875,000 to get to where I am.
Oh, my God, that is a low ball. Low ball. Yeah, I just love the fact that she came to L.A. to pursue Scientology and then become an actor, where normally it's the other way around.
Yeah, no, it's weird. But look, man, honestly, no weirder or different than any other religion.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, is Thetans any different than a god turning into a ghost and having sex with a virgin?
It's just newer.
Give
That's
birth
all.
to himself? I mean, come on. Religion's pretty convoluted.
Despite the introducing credit in Star Trek II, Alley's first film was actually the 1981 drama One More Chance. I'm guessing they did the introducing credit because no one saw One More Chance.
I did.
What's it about?
It's about her getting another chance. Now, I think I did actually see it because I think she had like a topless scene in it, and I was like
really?
a nudity detective when I was a young boy.
Yeah. Well, that's very common for young boys.
Well, back then we had to work for it, baby.
Oh, yeah.
There was no internet or porn sites. You had to your local video store, and you had to talk to people, and
Right. Find out. Yeah.
there was no like Mr. Skin or anything. You had to do your own due diligence.
Alley was a huge fan of the original series as a child. Spock was her favorite character, and she would fantasize about being his daughter,
Well, at least it was his daughter.
which is, I think, what led to the whole Scientology thing,
Maybe.
because she wanted to be an alien. When she auditioned for Saavik, she did an impression of Leonard Nimoy's portrayal of Spock.
Okay.
Despite it not being said in the film, with her emotional outbursts during the film, it turns out that Saavik is not completely Vulcan like Spock.
Ooh.
The script describes her character as a Romulan-Vulcan hybrid.
Ooh, the Romulans are like Vulcans that aren't in control of their emotions.
Yeah, they're very They have a lot of emotions. Alley was so fond of her Vulcan ears that she would take them home with her at the end of each day.
My Vulcaneers. Get your Vulcaneers over here.
After Star Trek II, Alley would be best known for her role on Cheers, which earned her an Emmy. She was still very active in film, appearing in
Blind Date, Runaway, Summer School, Shoot to Kill, Loverboy, Look Who's Talking, Madhouse, Look Who's Talking Too, Look Who's Talking Now, Deconstructing Harry, and Drop Dead Gorgeous.
I absolutely love Runaway, Summer School, and Shoot to Kill. Those three movies are guilty pleasures.
Oh, yeah. Blind Date is funny. It's
Blind Date's fine. I just haven't seen it as many times as the other three.
I liked Blind Date just because I was a super fan of Bruce Willis
yeah.
back then. And not just Bruce Willis, but also Blake Edwards. I loved the Pink Panther movies and SOB and all of his weird Hollywood movies.
Runaway, Summer School, and Shoot to Kill were on like Cinemax all the time. They were just constantly being aired.
Look Who's Talking is a funny movie.
It is.
It was one of the several resurrections of John Travolta's career.
Yeah, the fourth time he got resurrected.
Good Lord. And Deconstructing Harry.
That's Woody Allen.
Oh, okay. I get that mixed up with Regarding Henry.
No, that is not Woody Allen.
No.
And Madhouse is the one with
John Larroquette.
She would earn more Emmy noms for her sitcom Veronica's Closet, and she would win another Emmy for her role in the TV movie David's Mother in 1994.
Totally forgot that she had that show Veronica's Closet.
Yeah. Well, it was like a late 90s thing that, who cares?
It was like that time when there were 6 different shows that were exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like that and Caroline in the City.
You're a strong woman and you run a comic strip. You're a strong woman and you run the fashion magazine.
You're a strong woman and you run a radio station.
Yeah, exactly. There's literally 4 of them right there.
Well, at least they had strong women at them.
Yeah, that's true. In May 2022, Alley was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer following a doctor's visit for a sore back. She subsequently underwent chemotherapy at Moffitt Cancer Center in Tampa, Florida, where she died on December 5th at the age of 71.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. She did. I kind of glossed over that her third act got really weird.
Well, she did that. What was it called? Fat Actress? That was pretty funny.
She started essentially, her third act was essentially her playing herself.
Yeah.
Or a version of herself in various scripted shows and reality shows. It was weird.
Well, she gained some weight and just kind of became an F that person. Like, I don't give an F.
Yeah, yeah.
But then she became fairly conservative and weird.
Yes.
And the Scientology and her conservatism pretty much ruined her career.
She also, in her third act, was a runner-up on Big Brother UK.
Nice.
Yeah, Big Brother Celebrity UK. But they put her on there. She was in there for 3 months.
Gross.
Yeah. Judson Scott was cast as Joachim, Khan's chief henchman. Scott became a champion surfer at the age of 9 and won a sponsorship from Hobie Surfboards.
He looks like a surfer.
Totally. Scott made his feature film debut in Every Which Way But Loose in 1978, but was uncredited.
Yeah, with Clint Eastwood and an orangutan.
He did star in the sci-fi TV show The Phoenix, which had a TV movie in 81, and then ran as a TV series, but only aired 5 episodes before being canceled on my 4th birthday.
No way. Oh, happy unhappy birthday to you.
It was my one birthday wish, and it came true.
Oh, I thought it was your wish to not have it canceled.
No, I've never seen The Phoenix, but apparently people are like, it's like a cult thing. People are obsessed with it.
Anything that lasts for 4 episodes ends up being some sort of cult thing.
Yeah. Ironically, Star Trek II would not be Scott's first credited film, despite being a prominent character in the film. His lack of screen credit was the fault of his then agent, who mistakenly opted to waive Scott's credit, believing that would allow them to negotiate better credit placement later.
Womp, womp.
And it did not. He also thought he would be in the end credits, but his agent mistakenly waived those as well.
Idiot.
So he's literally not credited in this movie.
What a dum-dum.
Yeah. Scott and Montalbán got along famously and became lifelong friends. When Montalbán received a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2003, Scott was the presenter.
That's so cool.
How rad would it be to be in this movie? Yeah, downside, you didn't get credit for it. Upside, you're friends with Ricardo Montalbán for the rest of your life. All right.
I'd take it.
Scott would appear in 7 episodes of the TV series V. He would guest star on a first season episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, acting opposite Merritt Butrick, who played Kirk's son in Star Trek II.
Ooh.
Scott would also guest star in an episode of Star Trek Voyager. He would appear in 3 episodes of The X-Files in 2001 and 2 episodes of Charmed in 2002, and then he retired from acting.
Oh, okay, so he's still alive.
Yeah, he still runs around sci-fi convention circuits at the age of 73.
Nice.
You can still catch him in all the conventions.
Well, then I need to go.
Yeah.
There's just a couple of people I want to mention that weren't that prominent, but people of our generation might remember. Ike Eisenman. He played Peter Preston. He was the guy that Scotty's like, he stayed at his post. He carried
died,
him into
the one
the
that died. Yeah.
Carried him all the way, his body all the way up to the bridge to be like, look what you did.
It's like, why? Why would you go to the
him to
medic?
sick bay,
what are you,
dummy.
sick bay? What are you doing?
But he was in Escape from Witch Mountain.
Oh, yeah,
and the
yeah,
Witch
yeah.
Mountain movies. Even reprised his role or did a cameo in the remake.
The Super Witch Mountain or whatever it was called.
But he was a very prominent child actor.
Okay.
The other one is Nicholas Guest. He was only in a couple of shots. Very strong-jawed, handsome guy with a cleft chin.
A lot of both of these guys were in the training,
Engineering.
in the training guys.
Yeah.
They were. So the Enterprise was supposed to be training people,
Right.
but suddenly they got a big adventure.
And they were both in Scotty's engineering department. But Nicholas Guest, he's had a pretty decent career, but he is Christopher Guest's brother from
all the
Spinal Tap.
spoof
and
movies.
Spoof movies. But he's like the better-looking, less famous Guest.
I thought you were going to say less funny.
Well, maybe. He wasn't very funny in this movie.
Well, he's not married to Jamie Lee Curtis.
No, that's true.
So, principal photography took 11 weeks. The budget was originally $8.5 million, but execs liked the first reels they saw during filming and raised it to $12 million.
That's nice. A third more of the budget.
One of the few times that the execs made a good decision.
Well, yeah, because they're like, look, $12 million. The last movie sucked.
And it cost us so much money.
Right, but at least it made 180 something.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't suck, so
It's
let's
gonna make more.
Pop in another $4 million.
To save money, they used sets that were still standing from Star Trek the Motion Picture. 65% of the film was shot on the same set, the Enterprise Bridge.
Oh, wow.
It was redressed to stand in as the Starfleet Academy Bridge and the bridge for the Reliant.
Good Lord. They got their money's worth out of that set.
Well, Harv Bennett is a TV producer, so they know how to cut corners.
He also knows how to make things work.
Yeah. They also repurposed elements from the canceled Phase 2 TV project. I totally forgot to mention, when I worked on the TV show Justice, it was the ER guy, the John Wells show. When I worked on the TV show Justice, one of the post-producers worked on Phase 2.
Oh, wow.
Like, we talked about it for days.
Interesting.
Because he was like, it would have been so much better than the movie. They canceled it and did that shitty movie. And I was like, yeah. And he didn't have anything to do with the movie. And he was like, I had such a good job. And then it went away.
That sucks.
Yeah. The barren desert surface of SETI Alpha 5 was simulated on Stage 8, the largest soundstage at Paramount Studio.
I thought it was SETI Alpha 6. Where's the vessel? We have to get the vessel to SETI Alpha 6.
The set was elevated 25 feet off the ground and covered in wooden mats over which tons of colored sand and powder were dumped. A cyclorama was painted and wrapped around the set, while massive industrial fans created a sandstorm.
It looked great.
The filming was uncomfortable for actors and crew alike. The spandex environmental suits Koenig and Winfield wore were unventilated, and the actors had to signal by microphone when they needed air.
Those are the dumbest looking spacesuits, too, by the way.
Weird.
Big old square heads. You couldn't move.
Yeah.
You had to move your whole... It's so impractical. The whole thing was impractical.
It was like Batman in the first Tim Burton Batman movie. He was like, just turn your head, bud.
I hate these suits.
Filming equipment was wrapped in plastic to prevent mechanical troubles, and everyone on set wore boots, masks, and coveralls as protection from flying sand.
Oh my God, it sucked back then, filming and any of that kind of stuff, because back then you used film. And it was so easy to get shit in the gate or to scratch the
so easy
negative.
to ruin the film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Spock's death was shot over 3 days, during which no visitors were allowed on set. Spock's death was to be irrevocable, but Nimoy had such a positive experience during filming that he asked if he could add a way for Spock to return in a later film.
Hey guys, I know that I asked to be killed, but this has been a hoot. What do you say you bring me back for the next one? I know it's weird, but we'll make it work. I'll tell you what, I'll direct it.
The mind meld sequence was initially filmed without Kelly's prior knowledge of what was going on.
What the hell's
He's
going
like,
on?
why is he touching my head saying remember?
I'm a doctor, not a guy who gets his head touched.
But I will say, that is one of my favorite things in movies, is when it seems like an insignificant scene, and it literally is the plot for the entire next movie.
Yes.
Like, that is brilliant.
Remember me.
No, I think it just says remember.
Remember.
Just you remember it, because it was like, remember what?
What do you
Like,
want me to remember?
Remember that I'm dead?
What do you want me to remember, you green-blooded son of a bitch?
But it was great. It was so great.
And so perfect to have Spock put his essence in Bones.
Yes. That makes me want to watch the third movie.
It's the most fun part. I mean, they don't really. It's not like All of Me, where DeForest Kelley is like half his body's controlled by Spock.
I'm feeling very logical. No, you're not.
You have to wonder if Kelly pitched that. He's like, no, I want to do it.
What do you say?
But it's more of just like,
What the hell's going on, Jim?
and he kind of figures it out early. But yeah, it completely. Yeah, it sets up the next movie with just that one throwaway word, basically.
Spock's death in the film was widely reported during production. Trekkies wrote letters to protest. One paid for trade press advertisements urging Paramount to change the plot. And Nimoy even received death threats.
Good Lord, people need to calm the F down.
It's nice to know that even back then, fanatical fans were idiots as well.
Good Lord, people. As William Shatner famously said on Saturday Night Live, get alive, people.
Test audiences reacted badly to Spock's death and the film's ending's dark tone, so it was made more uplifting by Harve Bennett, the producer. The scene of Spock's casket on the planet and Nimoy's closing monologue were added. Meyer objected, but did not stand in the way of the modifications. Nimoy did not know about the scene until he saw the film, but before it opened, the media reassured fans that
Spock will live.
again. Yeah.
Jesus, what a bunch of pussies. Come on, man.
It just ruined the movie.
Yes.
It's like, what?
Look, and Spock's death is really heroic.
It's powerful.
It's so funny, too, because you're watching the movie, and all of a sudden Spock's like,
Yeah, it's so understated. He just gets up. He's like, all right.
Look on his face is like, oh, the popcorn's done.
Yeah.
And he just walks in there. Don't go in there. What are you doing? And then
You can't stop the radiation.
Oh, that thing blowing in his face.
Yeah, that was the best. It was like, oh, that's how you release the radiation. You stick your face down.
Yeah.
This smells odd.
But then the whole bit of
The needs of the many
Yeah.
outweigh the needs of the few or the one. I am and always will be your friend.
Shatner actually wanted that whole scene. He wanted to be like cloudy, like the film to be opaque rather than transparent, so you only saw his shadow inside. And the crew was like, "No, like we need to see him acting."
yes, this is his scene, you asshole. It's not about you. But I am sad. It should be on me. It's great. But and Nimoy's great in it, but it's almost ruined.
Oh yeah,
It's almost ruined by Shatner.
That one line when he was like, "Come on, man!" He had to. Yeah. Anyway, it's not. It's good.
Come on,
It's good.
no.
Due to time constraints, the casket scene was filmed in an overgrown corner of San Francisco's Golden Gate Park.
Nice.
Using smoke machines to add a primal atmosphere. The shoot lasted from midday to evening, as the team was well aware there would be no time for reshoots. The funny thing is that I didn't realize that was real. I thought it was a set.
Oh, really?
Because it looked fake to me.
It did.
Yeah. Star Trek II was one of the first films to extensively use computer graphics to improve the visual quality and production speed of special effects shots.
The effects are still really good.
They use computer graphics to improve the visual quality and production speed of special effects shots, which other films did that. This one, what Star Trek II is famous for, among the film's technical achievements, was cinema's first entirely computer-generated sequence, ILM's animation for the demonstration of the effects of the Genesis device on a barren planet.
It's so funny. ILM would take certain jobs just to test their technology.
Yeah.
And so this for them was a perfect. To them was a perfect opportunity to really test their burgeoning computer effects.
Yeah.
Which they would use much more in Return of the Jedi.
The guys that made this sequence would eventually branch off from Lucasfilm and create Pixar.
Nice.
Yeah, but the sequence was great because originally they were like, the producers were like, we just want to see like a piece of rock and transform it into a tree, and they were like, no, let's make it bigger.
Yeah, and it works. It works
totally
really
works. It's a great sequence. James Horner was selected to write the score for the movie based on his work on Wolfen. He was also young and very cheap.
Nice.
He was only 28 at the time.
Listen to our Wolfen show.
Yeah, listen to our Wolfen show. James Horner's score is great. His score is great.
Oh, it's so rousing. It's a very rousing score.
They specifically told him to not do anything from the first movie.
Yeah.
And so he latched on to the opening theme song.
Yeah.
And then extrapolated that out and then made that the whole score.
Yeah,
it's great. And James Horner was fantastic. The Wrath of Khan opened on June 4th, 1982 in 1,621 theaters in the United States. It made over $14.3 million in its opening weekend, at the time the largest opening weekend gross in history.
Nice.
It went on to earn almost $79 million in the U.S., becoming the sixth highest grossing film of 1982. It made $97 million worldwide, so actually it made less. The total gross of Wrath of Khan was less than that of the motion picture, but it was more profitable due to its much lower production cost.
Right. I think people were also a little gun-shy after the first one.
I agree, and we'll get to the fun part of that when people realized it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Critical response was positive. After the lukewarm reaction of the first film, fans' response to The Wrath of Khan was highly positive. The film's success was credited with renewing interest in the franchise. Gene Siskel gave the film 3.5 stars out of 4, calling it
a flat-out winner full of appealing characters and engaging relationships in a futuristic film that has a delightfully old-fashioned sense of majesty about its characters and the predicaments they get into.
3.5 stars out of 4 is pretty good from Siskel.
Oh yeah, Siskel is he was a kind of a bitter failure, and he liked to give bad reviews, whereas I think Ebert was more of a film lover and wanted to give them good reviews. So yeah, it meant a lot, especially mainstream films that Siskel would give higher stars to. He did have a lot of
funny enough, Ebert complained about the tepid battle sequences and perceived melodrama, but thought that Spock's death was dramatic and well handled, so he gave it 3 out of 4 stars.
Okay. Tepid battle sequences.
Yeah, they weren't great.
No, but
the stuff in the they essentially used subterfuge in the Nova or whatever they were hiding out in, the supernova or whatever, the nebula they're hiding out in. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't great, but they weren't bad. I mean,
well, it kind of was the same in Star Trek 3 because it's the Enterprise versus a bird of prey, and they're both kind of they kind of knocked each other offline.
Right.
So again, it's another battle that's more of wits than of...
Yeah.
But that's Star Trek, man. Star Trek was more about the mind. Yeah, the original series was a little more animalistic, but Star Trek always was more about solving problems than pulling triggers.
Well, I mean, the original show was perfect at that because it was like, yes, we know they have amazing technology, but we do not have the time nor budget to make this happen. Yes. So we're going to write scripts that makes that technology go away, and then you have to battle it out. Literally, like in the episode where Kirk battles Gorn, or a Gorn, whatever. It's like, we're just going to throw you down there and you got to fight with sticks. Yeah. And it's like, okay.
Well,
but they did that all the time.
Well, yes, because they had a very low budget and they had to find a way to get to Vasquez Rocks.
Oh, the old Vasquez Rocks. When the film was released on VHS in 1983, Paramount priced it at $39.95, $40 below the normal price.
Yeah, it was one of the first price to sell
Yeah.
video cassette.
It would sell a record 120,000 copies. This experiment helped drive more dynamic pricing in the market and for the home video market to shift from rentals to purchases.
Yeah. They were so scared of that for the longest time. And it's so stupid. It doesn't, it seems like they feel like, well, we could sell one tape for $100 and then people will spend $2 and $2 and $2.
Yeah, yeah.
Or we could sell 1 million tapes for $30.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense. Rentals was a concept that worked for a short amount of time, but then it was like, no, people want to own this stuff.
That was the fear, though, because they thought, and they were right. The fear was if people start creating home theaters and home libraries, they're not going to go to the movies. And it didn't happen back then, but it's
ironically, that is what is happening now.
Exactly.
Streaming killed the theaters.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't find anything on streaming. It doesn't matter.
No, we just screwed ourselves. It was much better when you could go to Blockbuster.
I agree.
And you got exercise.
Yeah. Star Trek III: The Search for Spock would be released in 1984, directed by Leonard Nimoy.
Yes, with
Christopher Lloyd as a Klingon.
Oh, he's a Klingon?
Oh, yeah. I'm the bad guy.
I keep picturing him as a Vulcan for some reason.
No, I'm the big bad.
Okay.
Kirk, give me the Genesis device, Kirk, or I will kill one of the hostages.
Okay.
Kirk,
Okay. I'm gonna have to watch this movie.
You do. You have to know what happened.
I know, and also Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, which was released in 1986, also directed by Leonard Nimoy. This ended the 3-movie story arc that started in Star Trek II. So if you really want to watch the whole shebang, start with Space Seed and then go 2, 3, and 4.
And then stop. Because the movies after that aren't very good. The Star Trek Generation movies aren't very good.
No.
The Star Trek IV is the last time. There's another original cast movie. It's not the God one. I think it's the one either before or after that one, but there's a really good Klingon one with Christopher Plummer as the head Klingon, and it's very Shakespearean.
I think that's 6.
I think so. Yeah. And that's the one where that's a great opening
Yeah.
where the guy comes in. It's such a cool opening. They come into the bird of prey and turn off all the gravity. Oh. And the assassins have grav boots, and so they're like, and they're shooting all of the Klingons, and these big purple globs of blood are floating all around.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was very cool.
Star Trek: The Next Generation TV series was started in 1987, run for 7 seasons. It featured a new cast on a new Enterprise, but the original series actors Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, James Doohan, Mark Lenard, and Majel Barrett, the voice of the Enterprise computer, all reprised their roles for the show.
No, Captain Kirk.
Despite it being set like 80 years later.
Well, it makes Spock... I mean,
Spock
Klingons live forever, so they live
humans,
for hundreds.
Humans just live a long time, apparently.
Well, look, hey, our life expectancy
it's
50 years ago
I know.
was a lot less than it is now.
That's true.
Think 200 years in the future, we're probably getting up to 150.
I know. Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, would be released in 1989, directed by William Shatner.
Ugh.
Oh, the old Shat. Star Trek VI,
that movie was a piece of shat.
Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, would be released in 1991, directed by Nicholas Meyer.
Oh, nice.
Come back. That is the one you're talking about because the Undiscovered Country subtitle is from Hamlet, which is what Nicholas Meyer wanted to call Star Trek II, but they changed it without telling him.
Right. Yeah, that is. And it is, because it is very Shakespearean. And that's one thing that I've always thought was cool about Star Trek is that the Klingons basically have their own Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things are the same, which is really weird.
Yeah, it happens.
And then they have a great appreciation for Shakespeare because of whatever reason. It's very interesting.
Yeah. In total, Star Trek would be a media franchise that included 13 movies, 13 TV series that would feature 960 episodes over 51 seasons with an estimated $10.7 billion in revenue generated over 60 years. So Gene Roddenberry says, suck it from the grave.
For the first time in a long time, there is nothing.
Well, I mean, there was a period after the end of at the end of Enterprise So after it went Deep Space Nine, and the 90s was such a heyday for Star Trek.
Right.
Because you had the movies, and then you had the Next Generation movies, but you also had Deep Space Nine and Voyager. And then right after Voyager ended, Enterprise started.
Right.
And it ran for like 4 seasons. But then after like 2003, there was just nothing for a long time. Because the last Star Trek Next Generation movie was 99.
Yeah.
And it was nothing for a long time. So it'll come back. I mean, there was a glut of Star Trek stuff because the streaming and like it did well for Paramount Plus. We're like, we're gonna put all of it into production. And
Look, the shows have been pretty good. I'm a fan. I'm not a Trekker or a Trekkie, but I've always been a fan. And I watched a lot of the new shows. My favorite of the bunch would be Below Decks, just because I think it's very funny and I like the woman who stars in it, whose name escapes me, and then Jack Quaid plays the other star. But it's very funny because it's about the lesser Star Trek people, the you know, the B-listers,
the downstairs guys.
the downstairs guys. Yeah, it's basically Downton Abbey, but Star Trek.
Yeah, exactly.
And out of the new series, the one I like the most is Strange New Worlds. I like the guy that plays the captain, and it's kind of got that swashbuckly original series goofiness and feel to it.
Yeah.
And he has that kind of devil-may-care, Kirky kind of personality.
Right.
But what's interesting is he knows there's like a prophecy, or somehow he knows what's going to happen.
Oh,
and he's Pike, because it's still Pike.
Yeah,
Pike in the original series.
Right. I know that there's some weird time thing going on.
Yeah, so Pike is the original captain of the Enterprise. So he's, this is his time. And they introduced because Spock was part of his crew. Yeah. And they keep bringing on, they have Kirk. All of the original Star Trek people, as different actors, come on this show.
Yeah. There is. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, it's fun, and it captures that goofy fun that a lot of the Star Trek stuff got a little too serious.
Yeah.
Took itself too seriously.
Yeah, that's what I'm really liking about the original series is that it is kind of goofy fun. Yeah. And even like the last episode I was just watching this morning was with court-martial, with Kirk being court-martialed because he apparently jettisoned an escape pod or something with somebody in it. And they were like, we can't find him. And they're like, well, you killed him, so we're going to court-martial you. But it was like, could have been this drab, like, court-martial thing. But then they figure out where the guy is, and there's a whole fight. And oh my God, the best thing ever. They definitely relied on tube TVs and being far enough away that you wouldn't recognize the fact that the stuntmen looked nothing like any of the characters.
It is so egregious. And people have parodied that
Oh
forever.
my God. Just this one fight, they would close-ups, and it was definitely Kirk and the guy he was fighting, and they'd pull back, and suddenly Kirk's 10 years younger.
Yes.
And like the hair was completely different.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I literally paused it, and I was like, there's not even... But this is the problem of having all this stuff in high definition now, is that like, well, we weren't really supposed to see it this way.
Well, that's just how TV... They did not give a shit about continuity of character. They were just like, whoever the stuntman that we can get. So it'd be funny, too, because it'd be like, sometimes it would cut and the guy would be like 40 pounds heavier and 3 inches taller.
Yeah.
And
It's like, well, whatever. Nobody will notice. And it'll happen fast.
That they parody a lot. And then another thing that Star Trek did that defined... made a definition of this trope for all of time is the evil version of you having a goatee.
Yes.
And that really bad split screen.
Yeah.
Where you cut you cut the frame in half and you put so you can have your twins together.
Right. Act opposite each other, yeah.
South Park did such a great version of that where they did the whole beards thing for the little boys coming from the different. So Cartman and everybody had the little beards. But every time they were on the same on the screen together, they would have this thin like cut, and you could see the tape, and it was just so funny. It was perfect.
I am very curious about Strange New Worlds because I know Pike is in it, and I didn't realize in the first season of the original show, the first 2-part episode features Pike.
Yes,
and they were supposed to bring back. They wanted to bring back the guy that played him in the failed pilot,
right?
But he was busy, and so they had somebody else, and it didn't matter because he was in like an accident happened, and he didn't move his arms or anything.
He gets severely... This is the thing, because in Strange New Worlds, he knows that there's going to be this explosion, this accident.
This is why I'm curious to see if they keep in continuity or not.
They do.
Okay.
Because they put him in this box, and he's all burnt. And,
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the only way he can communicate is,
There's a light. Yeah. And it just, boop. Yeah.
it's like once is yes, twice is no. Did you fail, Mr. Pike? Boop.
Yeah. It's the episode is great because they originally wrote it to try to essentially shoot 2 episodes in 1 week.
Yeah.
And because they reused a bunch of the footage from the failed pilot that had never aired at that point. And Spock like essentially takes over the Enterprise to go find him. Like it was some of Nimoy's best work.
Well,
like he was so good.
He was very loyal to Pike because he was his first captain.
Yeah. It was great. Anyway, it's just funny because like it's taken me 60 years to watch the show, and I'm just getting really into it.
Well, now you know. Now you know why even 60 years later, people are still glued to this show because there's something magical about it. It's one of those things where if you put it on paper, it's crap.
Yeah.
But
it's like, this is never going to work.
But somehow these B actors, this failed sci-fi writer, everybody comes together to make something that changes the world.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And one of the things about Star Trek that was so groundbreaking was the casting of all the different ethnicities and like you said, not making any sort of deal about it.
No.
And also, Star Trek had the very first interracial kiss on television between Uhura and Shatner.
That's debated, but yeah.
The one that people remember.
One. Yes, the biggest one by far.
Yes. The one that took 2 very popular characters.
I don't want to get nerdy, but
let's check.
But it was definitely the one. Yeah, it was the one that mattered.
Yes. Because
sorry to the other people.
Well, I mean, because it was on a big show and it was a show with kids and stuff. It
was
a huge.
It was
risk.
a family show. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but Star Trek in all of its iterations has always tried to err on the side of positivity and err on the side of acceptance. And what's so funny is I've watched all the shows pretty much. I haven't really watched Enterprise. I don't think I've even seen any of it.
The first 10 seconds of the theme song Enterprise, I turned it off.
Right.
I couldn't do it.
But I watched a few episodes of Strange New World, not Strange New Worlds, of Starfleet Academy. Mm-hmm. And I'm so tired of people getting so pissed off about having non-white or non-svelte or, it's like, it's in the future, why are there fat people? And it's just like, mother effer, maybe because there is people aren't worried about their aesthetics anymore. Now we're not judging people the way that you're judging them now. And
it's like, take a step back. They're feeding you information.
Yeah.
You're not making up the world. They are.
Yes.
So you justify why there's a fat person.
And look, I found the show. I haven't finished it. It's not my favorite of the shows, but there's stuff that I really like. Holly Hunter is really interesting as the person who takes over. And people are like, they hate her because she doesn't wear shoes and she's all bouncy and weird. But that's what's great about her.
It's also set like 200 years later.
Yes.
It's like the furthest in the future of all the shows.
And it's interesting to see all of these characters. And I get it. Look, they've gone super diverse. Like there's the Klingon character is more of a poet, and I think he's gay. And it's like, okay, Klingon. But that's interesting. But I do see where it almost feels like they were checking some boxes when they were making the show. Yeah. But there's also a character who is an artificial intelligence that has come to life. And that's very interesting to see her kind of navigating stuff. And it's not, I think people have gotten away from what Star Trek, the essence of it is, which is exploration, acceptance, diversity, and fairness and justice, and all of those noble pursuits that we poo-poo now.
That should be just a given.
Yes. That shouldn't be weird or, it's so stupid because why are they all so nice? It's like, Jesus, man.
I love shows. I generally hate fandom.
There's some stuff about, look, Paul Giamatti's character is really goofy. in the show as the bad guy, and
I didn't even know he was in it.
he's having way too much fun chewing the scenery.
Cool.
And it is
that makes
fun.
me want to watch it.
But there, there's like bits of him just
It's being weird.
being a little too weird. But it's still I again, I really have a problem with precious fandom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, but I've never been to a convention. I don't dress up.
Yeah.
I don't argue online about
Yeah.
niggling little details,
Yeah.
or I don't get super upset. I just want Star Wars
Yeah.
and more of it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Maul. I really liked the game, Outlaws that came out
Yeah,
that everybody
yeah.
hated. And same thing with Star Trek. I like Star Trek. I want more Star Trek.
The concept of Star Trek is so good.
Yes.
This movie, Star Trek 2, is a perfect example of this.
Yeah.
Because the guys that shepherded the movie didn't care about Star Trek.
Yeah.
The concept is strong enough that it's good, that it's still good. That, to me, is more interesting than anything else.
Yes. And Star Trek has always been a very positive, pro-diversity, very, very progressive
Yeah. Yeah.
show. And even back in the 60s, it was way ahead of its time.
Yeah,
And-
it's really I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably gonna end up doing a full run of everything.
Nice.
We'll see. I've watched most of Next Generation already.
Yeah.
And I've tried watching Deep Space Nine, and there's something about it that just
Deep Space Nine is pretty good. I liked Voyager.
I don't like it just being in one place.
Yeah.
It just weirds me out.
They do a pretty good job of kind of branching out and,
I know,
and
I
getting
know, I
off
know.
of the space
I know.
station.
But it's
because
but
people
it's-
have the
it-
same.
It's like, oh, really? They're just you could set that anywhere.
Just get them.
But I've watched the first 3 or 4 seasons, and I've never watched any of Voyager, didn't watch any Enterprise, haven't seen any of the new stuff.
Yeah.
So and most of the movies. Although I've seen a lot of the Next Generation. I think I've seen all the Next Generation movies.
Right.
But
And you've seen the Chris Pine.
yeah,
movies.
and the remake ones, which I didn't even talk about.
Right.
Which also, funny enough, had Leonard Nimoy was in it, and as Spock,
Yeah.
it was his final appearance.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. The movies were fun. Those movies were fun.
The first one was.
They were fine. The funny thing is that Into Darkness stole a lot from Star Trek 2.
Yeah.
It was just a different bad guy, played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't forget that Tom Hardy played
And, yes.
Picard, a Picard clone, a Picard
Yes.
son or something.
Yeah, in the third movie.
Yes.
That was
But he was a
Beyond.
clone, yeah.
Very excited to watch Picard. I've not seen that yet either.
I enjoyed
And,
that quite a bit.
I've got 948 episodes to watch.
Yeah, you got a
or
lot.
938 episodes to
Yeah.
watch. So I'm excited about it. I love the fact that Star Trek 2 got me back into Star Trek.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
that's
it's-
great.
it's nice.
It's gotten me back to. I'm definitely going to watch Star Trek 4 before the Stepdad show because
Okay.
I want to complete the trilogy.
I will watch 3 and 4 before the step down show. Yeah.
And I may watch some more of the show. But it's been really fun to reconnect with Star Trek. I was a huge fan. But like I said, there's really nothing, as much of a Star Wars fan or Star Trek fan or whatever fan.
Yeah.
I'm not a fanatic on anything.
No. I want to see more of everything.
Yeah.
And if I like it, I like it. If I don't, that's fine.
Exactly.
I'm not going to complain about it.
Exactly. I just want to see more, And they're
yeah.
still doing great work with Star Trek stuff, and they're still doing great work with Star Wars stuff. We're heading on to 60 or 70 years of Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're getting up to 40 years of Star Wars. And
Yeah.
that's a lot of time and product and, a lot of short attention spans. And things don't last. But
Yeah.
for something to last for 50 or 60 years, you got like James Bond, you got Star Trek, you got Star Wars. And that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And it's almost 50 years of Star Wars, by the way.
Oh, it is. Jesus, man. Oh, my God. I'm so old.
All right. That's all we got. We'll be back next week. I'm excited about the next movie. Gonna watch some Aliens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, game over, man. Game over.
I'm very excited. I've not seen Aliens in a long time.
Me too.
They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
But it's going to be interesting doing 2 James Cameron movies back to back.
It is. And there's a great Aliens documentary that's just either coming out or came out.
Yeah.
Like a 40th anniversary
Yeah.
deal where they talk to all the people that are still alive. There's a really funny quote from the girl, the Newt, who I just quoted.
Yeah.
where she's like, hey, man, if you're going to be in one movie, might as well be Aliens. Because that's
Perfect.
the only thing she did. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, we'll see you next week. Kirk, you're still alive, my old friend?
Still, old friend of all the souls I've met on my travels. His was the most.
Okay, Ricardo. Ricardo. I have such a hard time saying his name.
Ricardo Montalbán.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
never mind.
Okay. During that weekend, she attended a banquet
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Battlestar Galactica, already in progress.